800 Values for New Era Human Being. Xiefeng December 1, 2017 Prologue. A new era for humankind began on New Year's Day of 2018, which will last for a millennium. The first 30 years will be a time for soul purification and the elimination of outdated consciousnesses. Large-scale purification will be necessary for humanity, mainly soul purification. Those consciousnesses which are not suitable for the needs of the new era will be eliminated. The following 10 years will be the transition period. The traditional production and life modes will be replaced by new models. After that, we will enter a harmonious era when all religions will unite as one, favorable weather will prevail throughout the year, and everyone will enjoy happy, joyous, free, and blessed lives. This new era will last till the end of the year 3017. Humanity will soon enter the Life-Chanyuan era. The 1000-year new era is unveiling. The 800 Values for New Era Humans reflects the essence of human wisdom. It not only points out the direction for human development, but also indicates the detailed ways to sublimate everyone's life. These values are grace bestowed by the greatest creator. They are the teachings of gods, Buddhas, celestial beings, and saints, and also the result of painstaking efforts made by ancient saints and sages, and they reflect beautiful visions that humans have been dreaming of. There are 20 parallel worlds and 36 dimensional spaces in the universe, and every life has an infinite space in which to develop. The earth where humans live is called the human world. It is the transfer station for lives from higher and lower spaces and the battlefield of gods, demons, Buddhas, monsters, celestial beings, evil spirits, animals, and humans. It is normal in the human world to see all kinds of bizarre and motley disputes and sufferings. Everyone born in the human world has to undergo a smelting of their heart and pain of their spirit. Eventually, cattle will go to their sheds, pigs will go to their pens, celestial beings will go to their fairyland, and Buddhas will go to their pure land. To welcome the new era, we have already made preparations in both theory and practice. The theories are Chanyuan Corpus and Xiefeng Corpus. The practice is the production and life mode of the second home that Life-Chanyuan has developed in China over the last 8 years. The third edition of the 800 Values for New Era Humans is a highly summarized and consolidated version of Chanyuan Corpus and Xiefeng Corpus. It is their essence and includes basic principles for everyone in the new era to understand and follow. The history of mankind is one of suffering. It is full of wars, unrest, hunger, pain, anxiety, sadness, and fear. This is caused by the unhealthy cultures of all nations and their viral production and life order. Now we need to bring order out of chaos and remold cultures and orders. I am the great spiritual guide who was born in Western China and who was identified by Boriska Kiprianovich, the boy from Mars, and I have come to guide people into a beautiful era which will last for 1000 years. It will end the history of suffering and let us live in a new and happy world. Everyone who reads the third edition of the 800 Values for New Era Humans is special and is blessed by the greatest creator. Anyone who misses it or is not interested enough to read it is not blessed. Those who read it shall cherish it deeply, contemplate it carefully, take it seriously, brew it fully, and practice it actively. If you do so, you will see how right it is and how valuable it becomes over time. Its value is far from mundane and will bring unbelievable returns. To gain, you first need to give. No matter how you discover and read the third edition of the 800 Values for New Era Humans, you need to pay $1. Please send your payment to the Life-Chanyuan International Family Society. May you begin a brand new life journey. May peace and joy be with you. 1. Open the windows, the sunlight and fresh air will come in. Take a broad view, you will see the faraway mountains fresh and green. Stay and study in Life-Chanyuan, a new life will begin. Your spirituality will grow, and your thinking will transcend that arises from human nature and ethics. 2. Revere the greatest creator, revere life, revere nature, and take the way of the greatest creator. 3. Let everyone live well, the aged, the children, the widowed, the orphans, the disabled, not only ordinary people, but presidents as well, not only the rich, but prisoners as well, even livestock, domestic fowl, and wild animals. 4. 3/4 of all criminals are not inherently criminal but are forced into their situations by unhealthy cultures and social systems which have been established by humanity. 5. What is the best state for human survival? The core is simply this: take the way of the greatest creator and establish a government that functions without interfering with the natural rules. The more that governments manage and care, the worse human conditions become. 6. The more laws and regulations there are, the more problems will arise, especially the stronger the repression of human nature is, the stronger the restraints of one's subjective initiative and creativity will be. It is as if to tie up people's hands and feet with numerous ropes, and then shout to them, "Hurry up! Move!" 7. Closure leads to ignorance and backwardness, and rigidity and extinction as well, for a person, an ethnic group, and a country too. 8. The earth belongs to all humanity. People should be allowed to flow freely throughout the world and not be restricted in the name of countries. 9. A global government should be established to coordinate global affairs. 10. Democracy is the pursuit of mediocrity. The Superman philosophy should be implemented, which means whoever is in charge should have the final say and bear all consequences. 11. Today's real problems cannot be solved from historical experiences, but only with open and creative thinking. 12. Those who judge new things with traditional values are reactionaries reluctant to make progress. 13. The judgment of right and wrong should be based upon these four essential elements: fact, science, logic, and spiritual perception. It should not be based upon the words of the ancients. 14. Meritorious people are prone to be the biggest obstacle to advancement. 15. There is nothing good about mysterious and spooky things, all furtive and sneaky things are bad. 16. The Western way of managing state affairs according to laws is so inexorable, while the Oriental way of ruling states by men is so complicated, that neither method is ideal. States need to be ruled in compliance with Tao. 17. Putting all affairs into the public domain is the best solution to all problems. 18. What are bad programs? All of the ones that prevent people from leading happy, joyous, free, and blessed lives, but make them feel anxious, miserable, annoyed, dreaded, and worried. 19. Mankind is facing multiple crises, and the most important one is the crisis of the soul. 20. What money can buy is not precious, but what money cannot buy are treasures. 21. Preaching alone cannot accomplish a goal, it also needs to be completed by a corresponding program. 22. People fall into 5 categories. Ignorant people are driven by instincts, laities are driven by desires, mortals are driven by emotions, sages are driven by rationality, saints are driven by spiritual senses, they are celestials. 23. Man has 6 senses: vision, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and spiritual sense. 24. The sum of positive and negative energy in the universe always equals 0, therefore, what everyone pays is always equal to what they gain. 25. Life is a short journey of life in the human world. 26. All the preaching and orders that make people happy, joyous, free, and blessed are moral, all of those that prevent them are immoral. 27. We should pursue 3 great treasures in life: 1. Soul wealth. 2. Spiritual wealth. 3. Material wealth. Soul wealth is the most important and should be pursued first, then comes spiritual wealth, and material wealth is the third. None of these 3 great treasures are dispensable, and a life without any one of them will be imperfect. 28. People live to pursue a happy, joyful, free, and blessed life. All activities of a person or the whole of humanity should be centered on this goal. If we have ignored this goal of the existence of life, we would be putting the cart before the horse, whether it is studying for a doctorate's degree, marrying to create a family, establishing a company, pursuing an official career for more money or self-cultivation. Pursue happiness, joy, and freedom and fully enjoy them along the journey of one's life, hence love life and life, love nature, and feel grateful. This is the moral of being a man and also the primary value and purpose of life. 29. The highest realm of life is to read extensively, have the world in one's mind, resolve malpractice issues which have endangered society for an extended time, make vigorous efforts to improve situations, benefit people, and build the earth into a paradise where all people will live harmoniously with each other. The highest realm of life is to self-improve and self-refine, release souls of people from purgatory, become a celestial being or achieve Buddhahood, and realize supreme authentic wisdom. 30. The easiest habit to form and the easiest to ignore, but the most harmful to life and life is the habit of getting used to accepting favor and forgetting to feel gratitude. 31. All that is most easily obtained is the most precious. We must be very clear-headed that what comes easily is very precious. We should not think that what we have gained easily is of little value. Rather, that which is most readily available is the most precious. We should regard them as favors from the greatest Creator, and we should take this principle as a valuable lesson of life. 32. The 8 secrets of life are: 1. The more one pays, the more they gain. 2. The uglier one's soul is, the more painful they feel. 3. The more perfect one's life structure is, the more beautiful their appearance will be. 4. The more words one says, the greater their loss will be. 5. The more beautiful one's soul is, the brighter their future will be. 6. The more one possesses, the more trouble they will have. 7. The stronger one's ego is, the further they are from Tao. 8. The more shortcuts one pursues, the longer their journey will be. 33. The 8 mysteries of life are: 1. Ask the greatest Creator for help at critical moments. 2. Say no to negative and pessimistic thoughts coming from one's mind to avoid disasters. 3. Sensation is more reliable than wisdom. 4. Capture stimulation from information that is offered for the first time. 5. Confession can release karma. 6. Obtain truth and Tao from the evasive and elusive. 7. Enter the spiritual Pure Land and unite with Tao. 8. By reading the books without words, the natural and social phenomena in the human world, often, you can converse with the greatest Creator directly. 34. The greatest Creator is the primary productive force. 35. Live for happiness, joy, and freedom, but not for doctrine, truth, nation, political party, organization, religion, or family. 36. The 18 causes of life's suffering are: 1. Incorrect values and outlook on life, views on life and the universe. 2. Selfishness. 3. Greed. 4. Laziness. 5. Jealousy. 6. Complaining and grumbling. 7. Comparing. 8. Excessive ambition for victory and struggle due to the desire to excel over others. 9. Arrogance and insolence. 10. Dependence on others. 11. Infatuated and poisoned love. 12. Possession and occupation. 13. Contention for fame and gain. 14. Attachments. 15. Ambition to transform and control other people. 16. Deviation from the law of nature. 17. Violation of laws and disciplines. 18. Consciousness of marriage, family, nationality, state, political party, religion, and organization. 37. The present condition of human beings is caused by humanity's past, and the present condition of any individual is caused by their past. Tao is just, so do not complain to heaven and earth, nor to society, other people, or the government. 38. To create happiness for all humanity and each individual, we must firstly rely on the greatest Creator, and secondly rely on ourselves. 39. The purpose of creation is for the created to please and serve its Creator. It was we who created technology, so its purpose is to please and serve us. It was the will of the greatest Creator that created us, and so our purpose is to please and serve the greatest Creator. 40. From God's perspective, humans are ignorant. From Buddha's perspective, humans are evil. From celestial beings' perspective, humans are short-sighted and stupid. From mankind's own perspective, humans are both good and evil but wise. From animals' perspective, humans are inconceivable and horrible. From plants' perspective, humans are wonderful and great. 41. Humanity's suffering comes from humanity itself. Every individual's suffering comes from themselves. The functioning of Tao abides by rigorous logic and order. The equity and impartiality of the greatest Creator embodies in the functioning of Tao. If we cannot realize this, the suffering will never end, and the vicious cycle will continue forever. 42. The most important thing in life is not to try one's best to possess material wealth but to manage to change one's way of thinking. 43. Firm faith in the greatest Creator, believing in karma, and putting our best into everything we do are the three magic weapons to achieve carefree lives. 44. Time and energy are the diamonds of life which should be inlaid on the crown. Time and energy should be spent on the places and causes that can best embody the value of life. 45. Life is a journey, regardless of how many reincarnations we undergo. If we lose our memory each time, then we still have only one life. Even if we live many thousands of lives in the human world, we will not know our past and future ones, and they have absolutely no meaning or relations to us. Only people who can clearly understand their past and see their future are living in reasonable ways, and only such people can turn tragedy into comedy, move from the realm of destiny to that of freedom, and fully enjoy the delicacies during their life journeys and appreciate their beauty. 46. The nature of the world is illusion. Life was originally an illusion. The question is how long the illusion may last. If we can survive for 1,000 years, 10,000 years, or 100 million years in the illusion, then the illusion will be meaningful. 47. Be people-oriented, not doctrine-oriented or system-oriented. 48. Perfect human nature should meet these 8 conditions. 1. Revere the greatest Creator, respect gods, Buddhas, and respect other people. 2. Have no ambition for victory and no desire to fight for superiority. 3. Love nature. 4. Be modest, trustworthy, and honest. 5. Be sympathetic and compassionate. 6. Be able to adjust yourself and remain calm no matter whether you are in prosperity or adversity. 7. Conform to the laws of nature and do not seek eminence. 8. Love life and love laboring. 49. A life without direction is blind, and a life without values is perplexing. The affliction and misfortune of life lie mainly in the lack of direction and values of life. 50. Life is like this: you become either like the sun or like a reflective material. If neither happens, your life would be completely in the dark, and eventually like a pile of rotten garbage or a dirty and dark route. 51. Everything is but a game, and only life is true and exists forever. Reality is like a game. Those who are obsessed with it are muddle-headed. Those who are happy and pleasant in the game have an awakened consciousness. Attempting to own the reality is like a dream of an idiot. Only with a game-playing attitude can people not miss their life. 52. Nothing is of an extraordinary or very important matter to life. Only life is important enough to be maintained and cherished the most. Life is limited, but life is boundless. Everything in life should be centered on life, which is the core theme of life. 53. The universe is holographic, and everyone intrinsically possesses the natures of gods, Buddhas, celestial beings, humans, animals, and matter, due to the differences of the ages in which they live, family environment, education, self-motivation, and other variables. Some people eventually achieve glorious, premium quality lives while others end up living defective ones. 54. A great wish can induce a great life, and a great wish has an incredible effect on life. All who have achieved great results are people with great wishes. Without great wishes, life is like duckweed that drifts with the tides. Without great wishes it is impossible to scale the peaks of life and life. 55. People, as long as they do not know what will happen after their death, actually remain in a deathbed struggle, no matter if they lead a noble life or a humble one. 56. There are 8 miracle programs in the human body. The operation of a human body is a program in which 8 miracle subprograms are embedded. 1. Self-ignition. 2. Being rescued. 3. Auto-intoxication. 4. Self-healing, releasing self-healing magical chemicals. 5. Magic power and art. 6. Going crazy. 7. Being possessed by evil spirits. 8. In bliss, when conditions are ripe, these 8 programs will automatically start up and operate. 57. Life cannot lack belief, for a life without belief is contradictory and confusing. It will be a life which has neither direction nor prospect, and it is doomed to be a tragedy. 58. If people want to benefit others, they must first live well themselves, while if people want to do evil, they can live for others first. 59. People's short life decides their life futures. Every one of our words, actions, ideas, and intentions shape our futures. Our merits and sins are recorded justly every moment of every day and night. What we follow and where we go are entirely our own choices. 60. The most urgent things in life are to transform our life's non-material structure and let it evolve towards higher life spaces, and to sublimate our personality and perfect our spiritual nature. None of us knows what will happen tomorrow, but one certain thing is that our life structure will determine our life future. 61. Favor is not debt, but when you are desperate to pay a favor back, you may have no choice but to sell what you depend on. To avoid such a dilemma, do not owe others any favors. 62. Everyone has unlimited potential, but the main reason for not giving play to that potential is not because we are born stupid or have insufficient mental skills, but because we never find our best life track to follow from start to finish. 63. One heavy blow can destroy a person and render them powerless and incapable of recovery. However, it is often the impact of seemingly insignificant small-load energies that become the main culprits in destroying lives. 64. Observing the numerous people on the street who are busy coming and going, back and forth, we will actually find only 2 people, one is pursuing fame, and the other is pursuing wealth. It is normal for the masses to pursue fame and wealth, however, if we are unable to keep a sober mind, but rather join the ranks of pursuing fame and wealth, we are putting our carts in front of our horses, and delaying our precious lives. 65. Life is so short that big businesses should be chosen over small ones. Everyone has the capital to take on a big project, and the capital is love. 66. Life is like a play, no matter how short or long nor whether it gains or loses or succeeds or fails. As one play rises, another falls, rising here and subsiding there. Achieving prosperity in the human world might result in a fall in the kingdom of heaven. 67. Everything has already been doomed. Facing numerous and complicated life issues, we have only one way to deal with them: keep calm to handle all naturally occurring events. 68. There is no doubt that humans have free will. It is precisely this free will that causes the hesitation, trouble, agony, fear, and sadness in life. 69. One of the guarantees of a happy life is to understand and know yourself. Without understanding and knowing ourselves, there will be a series of troubles and pain in life. People are used to attributing all the troubles and pain to outside causes and to other people, but never to themselves. 70. Question: who writes the script of our life and arranges the track of our life? Answer: it is we, ourselves, us. Question: who is the director? Answer: it is the program. 71. The shrewd person only cares about immediate benefit, the wise one plans for the future. 72. People play all kinds of tricks to hook fish, and Satan does the same to hook people. Fish cannot see the people behind their traps, and people cannot not see Satan behind his traps. 73. Man is absolutely not the result of random evolution, but has been created by angels according to the will of the greatest creator. 74. There are no wronged lives or souls in the universe, and here are reasons why. 1. The greatest creator is equitable and never treats anyone unjustly. 2. The operation of Tao is meticulous and accurate. Divine punishments, though slow, are always sure, with big meshes yet letting nothing slip through. 3. Punishments and rewards are meted out accurately by karma. Weal and woe are not predestined, you cause them yourself. 4. Reality is the projection of one's own consciousness. 5. Understand that what we are receiving in this life is the result of what we have done in previous lives, and that what we are doing now will decide what we will receive in future lives. 6. The law of attraction reveals that those with the same frequency will resonate with each other. Birds of a feather flock together. Those with the same ideas will be attracted to each other, and those in the same boat will share their weal and woe. 7. Minds are the most important of the three realms, and consciousness is the most important of all rules. 8. The sum of negative and positive energy always equals 0, the losses and gains remain in balance, and you will always gain something when you lose something, but lose something when you gain something. 75. Intelligence is blinded by benefit, minds are blinded by intelligence, our nature is blinded by our minds. 76. Do not offer help if someone does not ask for it, but help at the first moment he does. 77. Dharma has no set rules, non-dharma is dharma, form has no set shape, non-form is form. 78. Keep the core principle but change the others according to the situation. 79. Low wisdom is characterized by rashness, medium wisdom by competition, great wisdom acts foolishly, and supreme wisdom is formless. Solve contradictions with formless wisdom, and dissolve all visible conflicts and contradictions with intangible thinking. Low wisdom is kept busy mapping out systems, medium wisdom is occupied with perfecting laws and regulations, great wisdom is preoccupied with spiritual civilization, and supreme wisdom roams freely and unrestrainedly in the spiritual world. 80. Little changes occur gradually, but great changes happen instantaneously. 81. Quiet places are free from misfortune, but bustling places may breed disaster. 82. When you are on the wrong path, the faster you walk, the greater will be your losses to endure. When you are on the right path, you will have taken the best shortcut, even if you encounter temporary setbacks, frost and severe cold. 83. All theories and viewpoints are suitable for only particular spatio-temporal environments and are only applicable under specific conditions. As environments change, either time and space change or conditions change, such theories or viewpoints must not be applied blindly and mechanically. 84. Times are changing, ideas are changing, lifestyles are changing, and the way that husband and wife get along should also change. Change is the only constant in life. 85. Happiness always belongs to those who conform to the trends of the times and act according to changing circumstances. While affliction will always be visited upon those who stick to traditions without considering the changes or even fearing them. 86. Any day could be the last day of your life. So, get things done as best as you can and leave no regrets behind. 87. Thinking has these 8 ladders. 1. Material thinking. 2. Image thinking. 3. Associative thinking. 4. Elusive thinking. 5. Visualized thinking. 6. Taiji thinking. 7. Non-form thinking. 8. Holographic thinking. 88. Wisdom is divided into these 5 levels in increasing order. 1. Human eyes wisdom. 2. Deva eyes wisdom. 3. Wisdom eyes wisdom. 4. Dharma eyes wisdom. 5. Buddha eyes wisdom. 89. That which can be imagined in one's mind basically has existence. 90. Nothing is ever impossible in the universe, but has only not yet been realized or transformed by thinking. 91. Tao, virtue, benevolence, righteousness, and courtesy. Having obtained Tao, take no account of virtue. Having obtained virtue, take no account of benevolence. Having obtained benevolence, take no account of righteousness. Having obtained righteousness, take no account of courtesy. But, lacking Tao, attach importance to virtue. Lacking virtue, attach importance to benevolence. Lacking benevolence, attach importance to righteousness. Lacking righteousness, attach importance to courtesy. 92. Form gives birth to mind, but mind can transcend over form. 93. Humans have three origins: the origin from the pyramid, the origin from the Garden of Eden, and the origin from the reincarnation of the dragon. 94. Negative, passive, and pessimistic words, moods, and consciousnesses will bring pain, misfortune, and disaster. Being alive, one should remain positive, active, and optimistic. 95. The bewilderment of one's self comes from the bewilderment of their consciousness. The bewilderment of life results from the disorder of one's consciousness. Our suffering derives mainly from the suffering of our consciousness, and all our uncertainties result from our unclear consciousnesses. We do not know ourselves or what we really want. 96. It is only if we express ourselves clearly that the universe will better cooperate with us. If we do not understand ourselves clearly, the universe will be unable to cooperate with us. The greatest creator helps those who help themselves. Never expect help from immortals or emperors without your own effort. 97. The greater the energy, the less visible a thing will be. The smaller the energy, the more tangible it will be. 98. The three constituent elements of the universe are consciousness, structure, and energy. 99. Everyone should beautify their soul garden by getting rid of the following poisonous weeds and barnyard grasses: jealousy, selfishness, anger, hatred, complaining, comparing, cursing, worrying, anxiety, fear, dishonesty, wickedness, ugliness, lies, sloppiness, hypocrisy, laziness, greed, avid possession, forced occupation, desire to excel over others, belligerence, exculpation, disputing, and other toxic weeds and barnyard grasses. Rather, the following beautiful flowers and greens should be planted: sincerity, kindness, virtue, love, faith, honesty, peace, diligence, bravery, unselfishness, devotion, service, care, tolerance, consideration, compassion, mercy, and other beautiful flowers and plants. 100. Affection, love and sex are precious gifts bestowed upon us by the greatest creator. We are supposed to bloom and fully enjoy their pleasures and sweetness. 101. Jealousy reflects an ugly soul. 102. A mind of comparison is a mind of wickedness. 103. Vanity is the cancer cell of life. 104. Complaining is a poisoned arrow. 105. Selfishness is the source of trouble and the primary path to hell. 106. Anger is the source of all diseases, and being angry is like poisoning yourself chronically. 107. Rage is an emotional cyclone. Those who are raging are the first one to get hurt. 108. Laziness is a parasite's consciousness. 109. Gratitude is the first element toward sublimating life's quality. 110. Selflessness is the path to heaven. 111. Giving and dedicating are the best ways to accumulate treasures in heaven. 112. Money, power, position, fame, and beauty are the devil's bait. 113. The more you possess, the more trouble you get. 114. Health, calmness, joy, contentment, and peace are rewards from the greatest creator. 115. Only when you possess nothing can you own everything. 116. As a human, honesty is the best policy. 117. Once the fundamentals are established, the proper way appears. 118. If one can achieve an integrity of body and soul through self-improving and self-refining, then real spirit will grow in them, great talent and virtue will appear from them. 119. Keeping one's faith is the first priority in life. Breaking one's word is a crime. 120. Being negative is like cutting one's own and other people's arteries to release blood. 121. Repentance is an effective way to purify one's soul. It is also a good solution to help one eliminate negative karma and avoid bad consequences. 122. Praying has incredible supernatural power. Pray more when you feel that you are too trapped by your surroundings to realize your beautiful ideal. 123. Being cold is symptomatic of lacking vigor and vitality, and those who lack enthusiasm and passion cannot do great things. 124. Greed is a psychological disease. 125. Arrogance is a devil's quality. 126. Stubbornness is a symbol of rigid thinking. 127. The truth can be found in neither debates nor arguments. 128. Cheating is a crime. 129. Suspicion is a kind of phenomenon of psychological perversion. 130. Resentment is poisoning yourself and others. 131. Cursing is a wizardry and the cursor will become a demon, so do not curse, no matter how angry you are. 132. Hate ruins the haters. 133. The most vulnerable to injury are the weakest and most defective parts. 134. Praising others shows the beauty and richness of one's soul. 135. Belittling others shows the ugliness and thinness of one's soul. 136. Humbleness is the beginning of progress, sublimation, and the bridge toward heaven. 137. Trust is honey and distrust is a knife. 138. As humans, we need to have some religious sentiment. 139. Being one's natural self is their greatest beauty. 140. Do not judge others. Be careful about conclusive words before they leave your mouth. 141. Say your own words, do your own thing, go your own road, and cultivate your own way. Do not bother with others or regard other people's business. 142. Faith is truth, love is life. 143. Forgiving and tolerating others will broaden our paths and living spaces. 144. Chase after the sun, and you will escape the darkness. Chase after happiness, and you will escape trouble. Chase after paradise, and you will escape this mortal world. 145. Those from whom ugly things emanate, prove themselves to be ugly. 146. If you escape from yourself and are afraid to face yourself, then you will suffer endless pain. 147. Love is a state of being, it is like the sun shining and flowers blooming. 148. Love does not possess specific objects, love is the blossoming of our most beautiful qualities. 149. Whoever lives for others is belittling and trampling their personalities and dignity. 150. Beware of those who say, I do this for your own good, as they could have selfish intentions and really do it for their own good. 151. Criticizing each other causes misery and suffering, and shows that you are rigid and stubborn. 152. Egalitarianism is unfair, communism without belief in the greatest creator does not work. 153. We should have light in our eyes and love in our hearts, thoughts need to be kind and routine work needs to be diligent. 154. Quality decides function and the quality of a person decides their value and function in society. 155. Dignity depends on good character to maintain, power and wealth cannot build dignity. 156. It is easy to have good relationships with everyone if we do not ask any favor from them. I would not care about the price of wine if I did not drink it. The best way to resist something is, don't use it. Ignore it. 157. Take things as they are, associate with others by following naturally come-and-go relations, act in accordance with one's intrinsic nature, and take advantage of opportunities as they arise. 158. Only saints are qualified to guide others. 159. Always cherish and create your blessings instead of over-consuming and wasting them. Once your blessings run out, you will have a rough time. 160. Great oaks from small acorns grow, put more efforts into basic things. 161. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Little things make big things happen. 162. What we have seen is where we are going. What have we seen? 163. Deliver the best quality in all jobs you do, or do not do them. 164. Do not desire supernatural powers or magic arts, do not show off your supernatural power to impress, confuse, or mislead others. Be your true and natural self. 165. Always return to the zero state. Do not abuse your power or claim credit. Do not flaunt your past. 166. Focus on good things and ignore bad ones. The law of attraction is magical. 167. If I am very healthy both physically and mentally, who can make me sick? 168. Keep individuality yet blend in commonness. 169. Do not stop when you are faced with adversity, things might turn around at the next corner. 170. Happiness springs from collective groups. Joy is from creation. Freedom is earned and well-being comes from dedication. 171. Do not kidnap, bind, or strangle your loved ones in the name of love. 172. It is better for others to owe you than for you to owe others. This is how we become free. 173. Everything is consumed in commotion, but is benefited from tranquility, and tranquility is the home of our spirit. Tranquility gives birth to wisdom, while commotion breeds fatuity. You cannot achieve much or go very far without peace of mind. 174. Close one door and many other doors will open for you automatically. 175. It is better to create the future than to dwell in the past. 176. Self-righteousness harms our souls, and shrewdness obstructs our advancement toward enlightenment. Repentance from bad consequences helps to rid our stupidity. With a pure heart and peaceful mind we can behave in accordance with the way of nature. 177. The spirituality of those who lust for the nutrition of meat from livestock is bound to be harmed, and those who gain advantages from others will be punished by Tao. 178. Men are handsome for their masculinity, and women are beautiful for their femininity, but men with too much femininity and women with too much masculinity are ugly. 179. There is no love or hate without reason. 180. Money does not grow on trees, and there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. Everything is priced. 181. A civilized society is one in which resources are shared by all its members. A barbaric one is one in which they are contested and claimed. 182. Everything is good in moderation but poisonous in excess. 183. All conflicts are irrational. 184. Throwing stones at each other is barbaric behavior. 185. A timely compromise is wise, and a timely retreat can move you forward. 186. Associate with people but do not form cliques with them. This is a great quality of civilized people. 187. A man of superior virtue shows no virtue. A man of superior mercy demonstrates no mercy. The great image has no image. Tao never does anything, yet all things happen through it. 188. Everyone needs to be responsible for their words, actions, and choices. None can escape them. 189. Do not treat others as your emotional trash cans by imposing your misery and suffering upon them. 190. Be an honest person in word and deed. 191. Encourage frugality and simplicity but eschew extravagance and waste. 192. As a man sows, so he shall reap. Good will be rewarded with good and evil with evil. There are no gates to fortune or misfortune, you cause your own. 193. Whether porridge or cooked rice, remember that nothing is easy to come by. For half a piece of silk or cotton thread, think of the difficulty in production. Fix your houses before the rain falls and do not dig wells till you are thirsty. Live frugally and do not linger on others' parties. Utensils should be plain and clean, Pottery is better than gold and jade. Eat good quality food but in moderation. Vegetables are better than costly delicacies. Do not build luxurious houses or scheme for rich land. 194. Those who are keen on the bizarre lack farsightedness, and those who walk along their life's journey alone cannot be persistent. Tao manifests itself in nature, and union is strength. 195. Let everyone display their talents to their fullest and make the best use of everything. The biggest wastes are to suppress talents and to let things go unused. 196. The more something is shared, the greater its value becomes. 197. Surrendering is masterly gain and letting go is an ever-victorious way of having. 198. Vice is more harmful when concealed than revealed, but benevolence known to all is inferior to that known to none. Correct your faults immediately upon discovering them, but avoid claiming credit for yourself. 199. Good processes naturally result in good results. If every detail is perfect, then the final result will be fruitful. 200. Stay away from all evil conduct but pursue all kind deeds. What is evil conduct? Here are some examples. Profanity against the greatest creator, gods, and deities, slanderous comments against celestials and Buddhas, mocking and defaming sages and saints, insulting one's ancestors, maltreating one's parents, murder and robbery, mistreating and slaughtering animals, bullying and insulting widows and widowers, harming one's brothers and sisters, humiliating one's teachers, superiors and seniors, hoodwinking young and inexperienced children, framing kind people deviously, defrauding ignorant and naive people, vilifying one's schoolmates, harming one's colleagues, hideously employing lies, fraud, sting operations, and entrapment against others, slandering and criticizing one's extended and immediate family members, maliciously maltreating one's inferiors and claiming their merits as one's own, fawning over one's superiors and claiming credit for their achievements, showing no gratitude for favors, harboring endless resentment, slighting ordinary people, disrupting state affairs, encouraging injustice, torturing the innocent, blocking insect caves and overturning nests, destroying embryos and eggs, pilfering people's harvests, masking people's good and kind deeds, uncovering people's weaknesses, damaging people's countenances and images, forcing women to prostitute themselves, wasting people's properties, riding roughshod over people, humiliating people to one's own advantages, transferring blame onto others to protect oneself, transferring misfortunes onto others, acting arrogantly because of one's wealth, deriding the poor, frustrating people's advantages, envying people's wealth and ranks, being jealous of people's talents, trickery in business, selling substandard goods for the cost of quality products, littering, polluting the environment, forcing people to do things beyond their abilities or against their wills, forcing people to commit suicide, digging up people's ancestral tombs, destroying people's homes, gossiping, disrupting people's peace of mind, jumping the queue, showing ferocity, plagiarism and piracy, harming people behind their backs, embezzlement in the name of public welfare, concocting pretexts, corruption and bribery, creating useless projects for one's own interests, dissipation and extravagance, instigating public unrest, advocating violence, destroying mountains and forests, uprooting grass, randomly polluting rivers, plunging living beings into abysses of misery, jerry-building, building dangerous structures, gathering people to gamble, scheming to cheat people out of their money, publicizing ghosts and demons, poisoning souls, playing ghosts and goblins, publicizing superstitions, building temples, randomly corrupting people's ethics and consciences, engaging in witchcraft, conducting fortune-telling, extracting human organs, injuring others' limbs, cursing people and wishing them evil, praying for people's misfortunes, being greedy of food and covetous of benefit, squandering food, laziness and acting slickly, comparing oneself with others, behaving tumultuously, interrupting people's rest, exposing people's privacy, trespassing onto private residences, intimidating and threatening, kidnapping and hijacking, occupying people's lands and belongings, defaulting on one's debts, abusing one's power to seek personal gains, bullying people with one's power, complaining and being jealous, bragging and flaunting what are kind deeds. Here are some examples. reverence for the greatest creator, life, nature, gods, and deities, following the examples of sages and saints, filial piety, respecting the old and loving the young, treating people equally, praising kind deeds, encouraging others, having a kind heart toward all beings, loving others as oneself, showing compassion for those with misfortune, sharing others' happiness, helping people in need, rescuing people from danger, displaying others' advantages, uncovering one's own disadvantages, never recall benefits that you have granted to others, repaying favors that are owed, not complaining about humiliation, harboring no hatred for hurt, letting others gain wisdom through your illumination, leading people to sunshine, imparting knowledge, passing your skills on, diligent and thrifty, working hardly, keeping promise and being honest, remaining simple and sincere, spreading happiness and joy, not limiting, but expanding people's freedom, helping people gain happiness, catching thieves and subduing demons when they are found, singing praises of sincerity and virtue, hiding others' wrongdoings but praising their good deeds, being practical and realistic, refuting and not spreading falsehoods, not pocketing lost properties on the road, not bolting the door at night, trusting people as you sleep, finding happiness in helping others, providing people with conveniences, consistency in words and deeds, reflecting your true inner self, steering away from the evil path, being scrupulously honest even in private, wishing for people's safety, praying for people's good fortune, being neither ostentatious nor extravagant even when you can, engaging in no sycophancy when you are poor, showing gratitude and giving thanks, often feeling appreciative, showing no arrogance when you have achieved your ambition, never giving up when faced with setbacks, boosting people's morale, promoting people's confidence, helping people to fulfill their cherished hopes, helping people to achieve their goals, being faithful and forgiving to others, showing generosity and tolerance, being courteous and humble, abiding by order, resigning at the height of your prosperity, being at peace with the world, showing equity and justice, treating relatives and friends with impartiality, dedicating voluntarily, having a placid and peaceful mind, remaining neat and tidy, showing a motherly or fatherly face, offering explanations for any doubt, showing hospitality and enthusiasm, being philanthropic and contributing, helping those in dangerous situations, telling the truth, planting fruit trees, showing neither arrogance nor impetuosity, having a gentle and placid temper, lacking all desire for ostentation, envying neither rank nor wealth, rising when dawn breaks, sleeping when dusk falls, being studious and eager to learn, glowing radiantly, dressing appropriately for situations, projecting astounding inner beauty, projecting a pleasant image with every posture, being outgoing and lively, enjoying fun activities and playing games, speaking with a pleasant voice, speaking with a sweet tongue, leaving benefits to others and taking the difficult tasks to oneself, being open and aboveboard, doing nothing underhandedly, being dutiful, never coveting others' property, loving peace, loving the broad masses, remaining close to nature, caring for grass and flowers, probing, approachable, having compassion even for insects. There are no gates to fortune or misfortune, you cause both for yourself. The effects of good and evil are like shadows following forms. Good will be rewarded with good and evil will be punished by evil. Divine punishments, though slow, are always sure, with big meshes, yet letting nothing slip through. 201. The world is faultless, all faults lie within us. 202. Only gods can distinguish right from wrong, Tao judges our merits and demerits. 203. If you are sincere and genuine, then you will get what you want. If you have a worried and unsettled frame of mind, then you will get what you try to avoid. 204. Let nature take its course, do not hold inordinate ambitions, everything has merits and demerits, do not pursue perfection, when surrounded by 1,000 rivers, drink only enough to quench your thirst. 205. Difficulties are overcome by easy things, great things are accomplished by the details. 206. Examine yourself when alone in silence, never accuse others' faults during chats, it is better to be righteous but poor than evil but abundant. 207. Tiny differences in the beginning lead to great differences in the end. 208. Man cannot conquer nature, but can only comply with it. Man cannot resist nature, but can only follow it. 209. Everything in nature is born to be itself. If born as a blade of grass, be a blade of grass happily, do not strive to be a peony. 210. To follow the old routine and stick to traditions is useless and painful. It is better to open one's mind and embrace new ways. 2:11. A whisper in the mortal world can be a rumble of thunder in heaven. Evil done secretly is as recognizable to God as a flash of lightning in his eyes. 2:12. Teaching how to catch fish is better than giving fish. Offering work is better than giving things. 2:13. Think whimsically. Only unconventional thinking can lead people to the bright way and bring peace and happiness into the world. 2:14. Who is freer and happier, a king or a beggar? It is the one who knows and understands themselves. 2:15. The value of one's existence is proportional to the number of people who they serve. The more people one serves, the greater their value will be. 2:16. If you have a good nature, then you are good even if you seem evil. If you have an evil nature, then you are evil even if you seem good. 2:17. The acme of good writing is nothing special, it is only being just right. The acme of good character is nothing unusual, it is only being one's natural self. 2:18. Follow the founder instead of the rules. Future generations must follow the rules that were laid down, not new leaders. 2:19. Do not try to change or transform others, that is, to disparage yourself and burn your fingers. Change yourself if you cannot tolerate them. 2:20. Those who love fame, power, status, etc., the most, spend the most. Those who hoard money, treasure, properties, etc., the most, lose the most. 2:21. Without noble thoughts, we are animals. 2:22. If your surroundings depress you, then escape. Escaping is the best solution to unpleasant surroundings. 2:23. Think about it. Are you living or only surviving? Life is worthless if it is only for survival. 2:24. Beware of the devil sneaking into your mind. 2:25. An excellent person who is inharmonious with the whole will be eliminated. Those who are excellent must always remain vigilant. 2:26. Do not entrust people with all your hope, they change. 2:27. Trust yourself is the opinion of fools. 2:28. Sneaky hearsay is not good news. Messages concerned with spirits, deities, fortunes, and disasters are bad ones. 2:29. Beware. Weeds grow wildly on free land, remember, never overstep. 2:30. Habits, knowledge, and history are the three main hindrances to innovation. 2:31. Fixed mindset is the biggest obstacle to the progress of human civilization. 2:32. Be alert to not let reality destroy you. 2:33. Enjoy, a person can achieve their best state of mind and their most beautiful soul. 2:34. Only when everyone's qualities of sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, faith, and honesty in their inner worlds are inspired from within, can a warm and harmonious world be created. 2:35. The greatest oceans receive the most rivers, the most open minds generate the greatest thoughts. 2:36. Think more about others' strengths and advantages than about their weaknesses and shortcomings. Think more about your weaknesses and shortcomings while not flaunting your strengths and advantages. 2:37. Reality is the projection of one's own consciousness. Transform yourself rather than complaining about your reality. 2:38. One's consciousness determines their life. One's life determines their existence. 2:39. All human contradictions and conflicts arise from energy contentions, even quarrels between married couples. 2:40. The more love you release, the more energy you have. The less love you release, the less energy you have. 2:41. Those who grow the fastest have the shortest lifespans, therefore, do not pursue speed in life and avoid shortcuts. 2:42. A person's quality lies in their details, not only in their words, but also in how they implement their deeds. 2:43. First impressions are the most genuine. If one's first impression is bad, then it will rarely improve over time. 2:44. What seems real is unreal, what seems unreal is actually real. 2:45. The more administrators a group has, the more complicated things will become and the more oppressed and exploited the frontline workers will be. 246. The more you possess, the more trouble you have. Something superfluous might cost your life. 247. Some books, people, and environments can transform the corrupt into magic. Some thoughts, consciousnesses, and words can rapidly uplift one's realm of mind. An opportunity in a conversation can change a person's life trajectory completely. 248. All awareness and experience acquired without thinking and comprehension is knowledge, while the ability of solving problems is wisdom. 249. Everything has its limit, and when that limit is exceeded, it will be transformed into something else. Therefore, be sure to keep things in moderation. 250. With the sole power from the greatest creator, mountains will flourish with trees, water will brim with fish and turtles, the heavens will bring pleasant weather, the earth will abound with a wide variety of life forms, and humans will exude endless charm. 251. Without a good program, system, as its guarantor, goodwill and dedication will vanish like soap bubbles. Creating a good production and living program is of great importance. Moral preaching alone does not work. 252. Avoid those who idle about, they will not offer constructive ideas, only gossip. 253. Beauty dwells in symmetry and proportion, it also dwells in simple and unsophisticated minds. 254. Every knack is deeper than the sea, so we should admire the spirit of craftsmanship. 255. The more that people look up to you, the more important it is to remain humble and sober-minded. The higher your position is, the more important it is to return to your roots from time to time and remain modest and cautious. Otherwise, you will never be far from disasters. 256. It is only when the people at the bottom of society have dignity that the nation will have dignity. 257. Those who help others, help themselves. Those who harm others, harm themselves. Those who cheat others, cheat themselves. If you cannot understand this principle, then you are ignorant and have a blind soul. 258. The energy level of food is related to the eater's mental attitude. Being grateful for it is necessary to derive the maximum energy and nutrients from it. 259. To be truly noble, you must always be humble. The bright road sometimes looks dark and the road leading forward sometimes curves backward. 260. If you concentrate on an occurrence or a phenomenon for a long enough time, then you will see what others do not see in it. 261. For the same goal, when the ways of achieving it are different, the results will be different. 262. The more you contribute, the more you will be paid. Your contributions will always be rewarded justly. 263. Never do anything that is not worth doing. 264. Attach more importance to values than to relationships. In this way, the later will not cheat you. 265. We meet when fate brings us together and we part when we are meant to separate. Never mourn or regret the beginning or ending of any predestined relationship. 266. Say yes when the answer is yes, and no when the answer is no. Do not say yes when it is no, or no when it is yes. 267. Frank and honest relationships expend the least effort to maintain. 268. Ordinary people live ordinary lives. Live an ordinary life with a quiet and peaceful heart. Everything begins with the ordinary. The truth of life is hidden within it. 269. No matter what method is used or what excuse is given, to damage, snatch, steal, occupy, or defraud anyone of their property is definitely a crime. 270. Labor and creation are the sources of happiness. True happiness comes from giving them selflessly. 271. Everything should be dealt with on the principle of least resistance. 272. A clean person will not be spurned. The cleaner a place is, the less garbage will be dumped. The dirtier a place is, the more garbage will be dumped. 273. If you are unwilling to surrender your attachments and prejudices, then you are like a piece of rotten wood that is unlikely to be carved into a great statue. one's stubbornness and unwillingness to alter their opinions is the highest mountain to cross. Afflictions and dread come from unbending consciousnesses. 274. Without enthusiasm and passion, one should never expect to taste the delicious in the world. 275. Those who maintain excellence in everything they do will eventually be rewarded generously. Those who are careless and slack in everything will never see the light of the day. 276. Good players use their consciousnesses to create more enjoyable games. Poor players become played by the realities they see, which are only illusions. 277. Those who do not play are mere eating machines, working tools, moving objects, and walking corpses. 278. Everything is an illusion, only sensations are real. 279. Collective living is the best monastery in which to dwell and self-cultivate. 280. Sincerity needs to exchange with sincerity, never take it as dung and dirt. 281. If we do not look back, we will never hear the noise from the secular world. 282. Flirtation is beneficial to one's physical and mental health, to the harmony of relationships, and to the sublimation of one's life quality. 283. Never degrade from the noble way in order to satisfy temporary desires. 284. Excessive punishment is injurious to the harmony and stability of a society. 285. Open your heart, so joy can flow. 286. Unless a life serves the greatest creator, nature, and other lives, it has no real value. 287. A gossiper must lead the role of gossiping, one who follows them is an absolute troublemaker. 288. Being misunderstood is one's own fault. 289. Those who pry into and spread other people's privacy are not good people. 290. Cut down your futility, superfluous words, and useless acts, but inlay your jewels, time and energy, to the crown. 291. Wallowing in the past is tantamount to chronic suicide. 292. Passivity always lurks the crisis of being eliminated. 293. The mortal world is deep and endless, just as layers of cobwebs. Only those who are able to rise above it do not end up as spider goblins. 294. A pitiful person must have something to be hated. 295. It is a man's shame to be pitied and sympathized by others. 296. Never stop advancing until your goal is reached. 297. As a human being, one must live their life to the fullest. Life is but a dream, all changing things are as transient as fleeting clouds. To feel and experience life fully leaves one with no regrets. 298. Being decadent is weakening one's power and searching for death. 299. The longest distance between 2 points is a straight line, the shortest distance is a curved arc, therefore, never fear mistakes and setbacks. 300. Ask yourself often, have I gone the wrong way? 301 to 400. Thinking and Life. 301. Order is essential for high efficiency, disorder only creates busyness, tiredness, and low performance. 302. Whoever proposes must take charge, whoever takes charge must bear all consequences. 303. Heartily speak kind words, as good weather is to the growth of crops, so are sweet words to the development of emotions. 304. That which cannot be solved by conventional thinking can be solved by unconventional thinking, therefore, try often to look at problems from the opposite angle. 305. If you pursue possessing, then you will have nothing. If you pursue not possessing, then you will have everything. 306. Gaining is losing, losing is gaining. The more you gain, the more you lose. The less you gain, the less you lose. Without losing, you will gain nothing. Without gaining, you will lose nothing. 307. Life and death are rooted in each other. Wherever life is, death will be. Wherever death is, life will be. 308. Death is not the end of life. 309. If existence determines consciousness, we have only one earth. If consciousness determines existence, we have 36 spaces. One-dimensional, two-dimensional, three-dimensional, four-dimensional, and so on. 310. The thought of existence determining consciousness is conventional thinking. The thought of consciousness determining existence is unconventional thinking. Beautiful futures belong to those with unconventional thinking. 311. If 1 plus 1 is 2, there is an increase of quantity. If 1 plus 1 remains 1, there is an increase of energy. The sage embraces the one, and becomes the model of the world. 312. A key to understanding the mystery of the universe is knowing that 1 plus -1 remains 1. 313. Always concentrate on one thing. As long as you do one thing deeply, carefully, and thoroughly, you will get all that you need from it. 314. Rubbing ropes against wooden boards will cut into them, and dripping water onto stones will wear them down, so pursuers of Tao should exert their efforts consistently. Channels form when water flows, melons' pedicels fall when their fruit ripens, people attain Tao naturally when the right timing comes. 315. Thinking is a magical power. Magical power is the higher level of thinking information wave that shackles the lower level of thinking. 316. Our thinking is more or less confined by some higher thinking. 317. All regulations, concepts, ethics and behavioral rules, authoritative theories and sermons, religious regulations and rituals, scientific theories and methods, and exemplary models and habits are powers that constrain human thinking. 318. All methods are just convenient methods or timely methods, but not constant methods. Once any cognition becomes fixed, it attends to one thing, loses all others, and becomes an obstacle to further thinking. 319. Implementing Life-genuine values in daily life and abiding by the community's production and living procedures are the magic tools to ensure the long-term existence and continuous perfection of the new life mode for humans. 320. Be not judges of others lest you be judged by others, for as you have been judging, so shall you be judged, and by your measure, so shall you be measured. 321. If a man pays back evil for good, calamity will never leave his house. 322. To forgive others' faults is to glorify yourself. 323. It is honorable to avoid strife. The foolish love to fight and expose others' defects in order to highlight their cleverness. 324. Avoid the banquets of evil people. Their faces, full of smiles, say, "Please drink and eat," but once you accept their offers of food and drink, you will be tied to them forever. 325. Give yourself up, you will find yourself, hold on to yourself, and you will miss yourself. 326. Dharma sets no rules, no dharma is dharma, form sets no shape, no form is form. 327. Snobs sacrifice themselves for profits, literati sacrifice themselves for fame, scientists sacrifice themselves for knowledge, great men sacrifice themselves for achievements, ordinary people sacrifice themselves for families, politicians sacrifice themselves for the state, saints sacrifice themselves for the world, and celestial beings sacrifice themselves for Tao. 328. The way of Tao is even and easy to walk on, but people love shortcuts. Quick success and instant benefits lead inevitably to ordeals. 329. Of all the relationships in life, the most difficult to maintain are the ones between married couples. 330. Within the same time frame, the closer one is to the center, the smaller one's space is, and the easier they will feel. The farther away one is from the center, the greater one's space is, and the more tired they will feel. 331. The broadness of mind decides the broadness of the universe. The depth of thinking decides the width of one's life space. 332. If the structure of a life does not change, then its nature will not change, its energy cannot change its structure. 333. The universe does not discern people's good or evil intentions. As long as you visualize or pray, the universe will use all means to help you realize your wish with the fastest speed and the least resistance. 334. Extravagance and waste are crimes. 335. When using a toilet seat, men should not stand to pee. 336. In life, it is difficult to find bosom friends. It is only during the process of diligent work to realize our lofty ideal that we find true friends. 337. A person without spirituality desires only to take but never to return. Moreover, they destroy their surrounding environments like viruses. 338. The purpose of humanity is to serve the greatest creator, just as grass and flowers' purpose is to serve humanity. 339. The development of human society has become increasingly complicated, vulgar, and snobbish. Actually, it has deviated from Tao. If it continues along this path, it will not only lose its beauty, but also everything else. 340. The most suitable environment for one's survival is their personal Garden of Eden. 341. If you want to lead a perfect life, you must concentrate your efforts on your own inner beauty. Do not try to change others or the world, change yourself first. As you change, so will people and the world around you change. 342. We had better deal with our own garbage, whether material garbage, spiritual garbage, or soul garbage. The less garbage we make, the more civilized we will be. 343. Lower life levels serve higher ones and all lives serve the greatest creator. 344. There are 36 8-diagram arrays in the universe and there are innumerable traps along the journey of life. It is only by escaping from these traps of life that we can enjoy the freedom of life. 345. Continue to die and continue to be born anew, the meaning of life is in it. Continue to destroy and continue to create, the meaning of life is in it. 346. The way to reach a more beautiful life space is to pay your debts, end your ties, accumulate merits and virtues in heaven, and perfect your life structure. 347. The most wonderful experience in life is when your consciousness is in that zero state. It is only then that you can feel everything. 348. A life close to death is stiff, a life full of vitality is soft. 349. Be kind to all life beings and they will be kind to you. 350. Nostalgia is not worth the cost of life. Everything is a flash in the pan, like floating smoke and passing clouds. 351. The most in life, the most lofty and greatest thing in life is to explore life. The most significant thing in life is to research life. The most joyful thing in life is to revere life. The most peaceful thing in life is to march forward along the trajectory of life. 352. The human body is immune to many diseases which often come and go silently, and we can just ignore them. However, once you take any disease seriously, it will entangle you to the end. 353. Selfless life beings belong to heaven, selfish life beings belong to the human world, extremely selfish life beings belong to hell. 354. From life's perspective, illusion and reality are the same. 355. It is always better for one who is indecisive and stuck in dilemmas to follow their heart rather than their brain. 356. Do not conclude that something does not exist just because you cannot see it. The higher its vibrational frequency is, the less visible it is. 357. Life is a non-material structure with spirituality. 358. Humans are combinations of physical bodies and spiritual lives. The physical bodies are the carriers of their lives and will die, but the lives that they carry will continue after they do so. 359. The quality of a life lies in its structure. The more perfect its structure is, the higher its quality is, the better its living space is, and the greater that life's freedom will be. 360. The best home for a life being to reach is the backyard of the greatest creator, the Celestial Islands continent. 361. The purpose of life's evolution and transmigration is to maintain the ethics of the universe and the dynamic balance of all lives in the universe. 362. The law of universal gravitation of life. There is mutual gravity among lives that are brought together by karma in the universe. The magnitude of this gravity is a direct ratio of the debt that each owes to the other but an inverse ratio to the amount of favor that each has done for the other. 363. If one leaves this life with an unfulfilled wish, then they will be reincarnated into the human world again. 364. an outline of standards and revelations of the transmigration of life. People with the greatest love will become super celestial beings. People with the utmost benevolence will become Buddhas. People with the greatest happiness will become deity celestial beings. People with the greatest health will become land celestial beings. People with the greatest kindness will become human celestial beings. People with the greatest loyalty will ascend to nobility. People who are filial to their parents will return with great blessings. People with impartial minds will return to the human world. People who have built up their virtues will be wealthy. People with muddle-headed, confused minds will fall to the animal world. People with indifference will be reincarnated to the plant world. People with wicked intentions will sink into the ghost world. People who have lorded over and bullied others will degrade to the frozen layer. People who were intentionally evil will fall into the inflamed layer. 365. Hell is the general term for inflamed space, frozen space, and the nether world. A life in hell will generally not enter the human world directly. Insects and many plants belong to another reincarnation system of life and will generally not reincarnate as humans. 366. Higher level lives have fewer conflicts with their surroundings, lower level lives have more conflicts with theirs. The higher their level of life is, the higher the level of love in their consciousness is, the lower their level of life is, the lower the level of love in theirs is. 368. Gods and super celestial beings are lives created by the greatest creator. Other lives were designed by the greatest creator but created by super celestial beings under God's directions. 369. The law of the jungle, and the survival of the fittest, from Darwin's theory of evolution are portrayals of the animal world, but an awakened person would never agree with them. 370. Organ transplantation is a bad thing, its disadvantages outweigh its advantages. 371. Genetic engineering is extremely dangerous because it is very likely to cause a large appearance of monsters and demons. 372. Biological robots will emerge eventually. They will bring blessings to some but misfortunes to some others. 373. Lives travel through transmigration and transformation. Humans might ascend to celestial beings and degrade to animals as well. 374. Life has 8 big secrets. To attain them, you must build your merits and virtues to exchange. 375. What does not exist in consciousness does not exist in life. Therefore, make the best use of your time to expand your space of life. Be neither nostalgic for things which appeared briefly nor for the human world, they are all just flashes in the pan. Try your best to be familiar with the place for which you yearn and be an awakened person. 376. The nature of life is the soul, the nature of soul is consciousness, so consciousness is life. 377. The simpler that things are, the more attention they should receive, the closer that people are to us, the more they will form joys and sorrows in our lives. 378. How can a life achieve eternal bliss? The answer is simple, only by realizing self-harmony. 379. Freedom symbolizes heaven and control represents hell. 380. We must make full use of our bodies. If we do not, we will be rebelling against the greatest creator. We would be practicing evil ways if we prayed for what our bodies do not have. 381. Seeds take roots where they land. Wherever you live, treat that place as your home, protect its environment, and create beauty. 382. Freedom is supreme and priceless. It is the symbol of life in heaven. The degree of freedom shows the level of a life. The greater a life's degree of freedom is, the closer they are to heaven. The less a life's degree of freedom is, the closer they are to hell. 383. Individuals and groups cause their own lack of freedom. If one within an unfree group wants freedom, the only thing to do is, escape. Escape to a free place. If you cannot find a free place on earth, then flee to heaven. 384. Do not sympathize for or commiserate with the weak, for they are parasites. Once you are entangled with the weak, they will suck off your blood and your whole life will turn to misery. Who are the weak? The debilitated, disabled, ill, and poor are not, but those who constantly rob your energy are. 385. When many people's consciousnesses resonate, they live in the same world. Heaven and hell are the real worlds created by the lives whose consciousnesses resonate. Everything on earth is created together by the people who are here. 386. All changes in the universe have reasons. All changes of nature are the results of quantitative changes. There will be no qualitative leaps without the accumulation of quantitative changes. When quantitative changes reach their limit, they will inevitably cause qualitative leaps. 387. As long as we treat everyone and everything objectively and fairly, then we will not waste time on hatred and revenge, but only concentrate on our own futures of sublimating ourselves. 388. Different faiths lead to different mental states and psychological activities, which lead to different words and actions, which lead to different results and ways of life. Faith is the navigator of life. Different faiths make different lives, therefore, faith determines lives. 389. Arrogance comes from ignorance, and it is the touchstone of testing the richness of one's inner beauty. 390. Character is the accumulation of characteristics that one inherits from their previous lives. Character is definitely not inherited from one's biological parents. Character will determine one's overall developmental direction. It is one's original nature, which is the potential energy of consciousness one can barely handle or control by themselves. That's why we often hear the saying, a leopard cannot change its spots. Character decides what kind of life one will achieve. 391. The more marvelous a method is, the easier it is to practice. Tricks and shortcuts are ultimately not simple and easy ways to do things. 392. If you do not surrender your human mind, then you will not achieve the nature of a celestial being. If you do not abandon the human world, then you cannot ascend to the fairyland above. 393. If you do not close a door, then another 9 will not open to you. If you remain wedded to one love, then you will not be able to embrace another truer love. If you do not leave your heavy baggage, then you will not be able to walk farther. If you do not remove your blinders of conventional thinking, then you will not see the light at the end of the tunnel. 394. Die, yesterday's me, embrace today's me. Die, today's me, embrace tomorrow's me. 395. Do what you want without breaking the rules, enjoy a carefree life without grumpiness. 396. Are there any unfair phenomena in human society? No, not at all. Everything is a fair adjudication of the mechanism of cause and effect. Everything is the fairest arrangement with the rewards and punishments of Tao. 397. Everyone has their own life trajectory. Everything is destined. It might seem on the surface that we have been wronged, but that appearance might have actually resulted from our own imperceptible thoughts and behaviors. 398. When death comes, we should die clearly and leave no regrets to the last moment. We should never come to this world in vain. While we are still alive, we must distinguish the priorities of life, what is important and what is unimportant, otherwise it will be too late to feel regret. 399. Do not be nostalgic, open up to your future rather than dwelling upon your past. The universe is boundless, time and space are endless, the future of life is endless, life is always on its journey. The scenery ahead is unknown and unprecedented for us. Regardless of how wonderful our current environment might be, we still need to open up new territories, to explore new ways, to enter the new realms. Joy lies in creating, not in languishing in material comfort. Happiness lies in devoting, not in acquiring. Freedom lies in continually abandoning, not in sticking to old ways and achievements. 400. Once one stops marching forward, they will inevitably move toward dispiritedness and depravity. Once unwilling to abandon all their possessions, one will inevitably slip toward selfishness and greed. Once clinging to ancient ways and bygone values, one will never have the chance to see the incomparable new wonder and beauty. 401. The universe is an illusion and its size relates to our consciousness. The stronger the consciousness, the bigger the universe. The weaker the consciousness, the smaller the universe. The universe would not exist without consciousness. 402. The universe is the product of the consciousness of the greatest creator. The universe did not originate from the Big Bang, rather, it came into being because Wuji gave birth to Taiji and chaos evolved into holographic order. 403, the universe has eight forces: magnetism, gravity, the strong force, the weak force, the structural force, the repulsive force, the conscious force. The spiritual force. The universe is made up of three elements: consciousness, structure, energy. 404. The universe includes 20 parallel worlds. Humans live in the XY world, ghosts live in the XY world, gods, Buddhas, and super celestial beings live in the XYZ world, monsters and demons live in the XYZ world, the 1,000-year world is in the XYZ world, the 10,000-year world is in the XYZ world, the celestial islands continent is in the XYZ world. 405. The universe exists for life and life exists for the universe. When life dies out, the universe will perish. When the universe ends, life will be extinct. 406. The solar system was designed to serve humans on the earth. 407. The moon did not come into being naturally, it was created specifically for life on the earth. Apart from its other functions, the moon serves as a warehouse, mainly to store UFOs. 408. The UFOs that we occasionally see in the sky are not from outer space but from within the moon, which is a gigantic warehouse storing many tools that super celestial beings once used, and UFOs are one kind of them. The moon has a gate which can be opened at any time, and there is a huge palace beneath the mysterious Bermuda Triangle which super celestial beings use as temporary lodgings on Earth. When such needs arise, super celestial beings can exercise remote control of the UFOs within the moon at any time and use them to visit Earth. 409. The atmosphere is the Earth's skin. The ozonosphere is to protect life on the Earth. Water is the Earth's blood. Photosynthesis is the headspring of food for life. Symmetry in nature is a mysterious force. The perfect scale is the golden ratio. The brain is the epitome of the universe. Genes are the sealed book of life. Conditioned reflexes are the protective mechanisms of life. Sexual pleasure is not only for the continuation of ancestral lines. The beauty of nature is the masterpiece of the greatest creator. 410. There is a negative cosmic velocity in the universe, namely, the speed of the non-material, which is faster than that of light. 411. Everything in the universe moves in accordance with Tao. The spirits of all life forms are connected to that of the greatest creator. Each thing and every phenomenon follow its own principles and laws. Whether it be the operation of celestial bodies or the action of an ant or a bee, everything is controlled by Tao. The universe is holographic, and a thought can spread across it within an instant. 412. The total energy of the universe is always zero, which enables its stable order. 413. The holographic phenomena means the universe is holographic. A holographic universe means that the universe is so expansive that there is no exterior and so small that there is no interior. Everything and all phenomena are holographically interconnected, nothing is independent of anything else, and no phenomenon is independent of any other phenomena. 414. The unity of opposites is only the appearance of the universe, not the essence of it. The essence of the universe is a holographic order entity. There are no opposites such as justice and injustice, good and evil, or beauty and ugliness within the holographic order. 415. There are grand universe and small universes. The boundless universe is called the grand universe and the bounded universes are called small universes. The grand universe is made up of a vast number of small universes. The universe in which humans live is a small universe, and it is called the Earth universe. 416. All objects within the scope of time, including celestial bodies, have an origin, a time of being born and a course of development. The universe is no exception. Before the birth of the universe, it was Wuji. The state of Wuji is the absence of large and small, the absence of borders, the absence of entity and non-entity, the absence of time, space, substance, and spirit. All is a state of clearness and brightness as well as chaos. All is a state of existence as well as non-existence. 417. Chaos is a disorderly state, but holographic order is an orderly one. Chaos was the state before the formation of the universe, while holographic order has been the state afterward. Chaos, Chinese means mess, lack of order. In Chinese holographic order is written as, means wholeness and inseparable integrity, and done, means a borderless and expansive state like the immense ocean. In the state of chaos, there is no heaven, no earth, no borders, no limits, no center, no yin or yang, and no middle way. In the state of holographic order, there is Taiji, the one in the unity of opposites, the two poles, and the middle way. For 18, the law that maintains the zero sum of positive and negative energy is called the law of cause and effect. For 19, the existence of natures is what causes the clear layered, well-structured, multiform, and constantly changing wonder of life and all natural phenomena. If everything were devoid of their natures, then the universe would return to its chaotic, primordial state of chaos. For 20, the material world is the positive universe, the non-material world is the negative universe. Non-material things are of the negative universe as they are non-physical, intangible, invisible, untouchable, inaudible, and cannot be sensed, measured, or perceived, yet influence the material world. The dream world is a type of negative universe, namely the non-material world. For 21, the positions of materials and non-materials and the spheres of their activities are called space. Space can be positive or negative. Non-materials exist in negative space, materials exist in positive space. Positive space is determined by the existence and distribution of materials, and negative space is determined by the existence and distribution of non-materials. For 22, space can change an object's shape and its rules of operation. Space includes natural spaces and thinking spaces. In different spaces, operation rules and the existence of life and objects are different. Changes of space can cause changes of one's physical functions, thinking, and the survival state. One must change space if they want to change themselves. For 23, nature gives us corresponding feedback to whatever information we enter. There are no coincidences in the universe, all phenomena must have their determining factors. All natural phenomena have causes which lead to inevitable results. This is the program and objective law which is not subject to the will of man. For 24, space can be compressed, expanded, and dissolved. For 25, the passageways connecting the 36-dimensional spaces are called space tunnels. For 26, spaces are vitally important to people. A good space can bring people's capabilities into full play and make them feel relaxed and happy, while a bad space will oppress human nature and limit their talents, reducing them to mentally and physically fatigued prisoners. Therefore, we should strive to create or enter good spaces and avoid creating or entering bad ones. For 27, time is the recorder of the state of material movement. Time is born of movement. There would be no time without movement. For 28, time has eight great characteristics. 1. Time is non-material. 2. Time can be negative or positive. 3. Time is particular and universal. 4. Time is a variable. 5. Time pervades all material spaces. 6. Time is both longitudinal and latitudinal. 7. Time has different interpretations in different spaces. 8. Time can be compressed, expanded, and dissolved. 429. Time tunnels are dense time networks which are composed of positive and negative time and are widely distributed throughout the universe. For 30, time changes everything and everything exists within a specific time. To make an object exist eternally, you must make its time of existence eternal. For 31, there is latitudinal time and space in the universe, but time does not exist in latitudinal time and space. In latitudinal time and space, one cannot feel the passage of time, but insofar as Earth time is concerned, several seconds of latitudinal time and space can be several decades, centuries, or millennia. For 32, our physical bodies are in positive space, but our spiritual entities are in negative space. For 33, to escape from the bondage of time and space, one must think whimsically, unconventionally, and act against norms. For 34, Tao is the commonality of the universe, and the core of Tao is the greatest creator. Revering the greatest creator and following Tao is the perfect and harmonious integration of one's individuality with their universal commonality. Only those who integrate their individuality perfectly and harmoniously with the commonality of the universe have sober minds and bright prospects. Those who abandon this general principle and direction cannot secure bright prospects no matter how intensely they engage in self-cultivation. For 35, non-material is the reverse side of material and does not possess the characteristics of material. All material passes through the processes of birth, growth, decay, and death, but non-material does not. Everything in the non-material world can miraculously transform in an instant. From the perspective of the ever-existing universe, everything is transient, illusory, and valueless. To obtain eternal existence, one must break away from the control of time. To do this, one must work hard to perfect the spiritual entity of their life. When all conditions are ripe, success will follow. Once you manage to break through the limitation of time, you will be able to enter latitudinal time and space as you like, feel relaxed and happy, and be overwhelmed by unparalleled beauty. For 36, it is impossible to understand the non-material world by means of science, intellect, facts, and logical reasoning. The only way to know it is to let one's consciousness enter the non-material world and be there to observe it just as we enter our dreams. It is only by entering into the non-material world in person that we can understand it. There are two types of non-material worlds. One is to be perceived from a longitudinal time tunnel and the other is to be perceived from a latitudinal space tunnel. This is to say that to learn about your past or future, you must enter a time tunnel. To know about other non-material worlds existing at this moment, you must enter a space tunnel. For 37, if we cannot see anything in the material world, then our physical eyes have failed, they are covered, closed, or have become blind. If we cannot see anything in the non-material world, then our spiritual eyes have failed, they are covered, closed, or have become blind. For 38, the sum of positive and negative energy in the universe is always zero, the total score of wins and losses is always zero, and behind the glory of every winner hides the bitterness and misery of a loser. Therefore, for the sake of other people's happiness, we should only take what is necessary for us instead of having an insatiable greed for all benefits. For 39, the universe has these eight dialectics. 1. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. 2. When things are exhausted, they revive, when they end, they begin again. 3. The hidden becomes clear and the smallest becomes big. 4. Life and death are the root of each other, yin flourishes and yang declines. 5. To own nothing is to have everything and to own everything is have nothing. 6. Our nature emerges when our mind is silent, it subsides when the mind is active. 7. Motion and stillness coexist, brightness and darkness are interdependent. 8. Positive and negative are symmetrical, development is constrained when the balance of any proportion is broken. 440. Tao is the consciousness of the greatest creator and the blood of the universe. It is nature, the synthesis of all laws, and the general program that governs the operation, mutual generation, and restraints of everything in the universe. For 41, Tao has these eight characteristics. 1. In holographic order. 2. Eternal reliability. 3. Instantaneous detection and response. 4. Lack of interior or exterior but transcendence over time and space. 5. Spirituality. 6. Justice. 7. Non-obstruction. 8. Illusory yet actual. 442. The content of everything represented by Tao is expressed in forms. Without form, Tao's content would be difficult to materialize. Form is the embodiment of Tao, but is by no means Tao itself, just as a cell in a human body is the embodiment of that person, but is definitely neither him nor her. For 43, Tao exists in everything, everything exists in Tao, Tao is the One. The vast universe has only one consciousness, that of the greatest creator, which is manifested through Tao. 444. The attributes of Tao have no contradictions. If one has conflicts in their minds or has conflicts with others, they are not in tune with Tao. If there are conflicts within a group, it is not in tune with Tao. 445. The operation of Tao begins with minor details, achieves in dribs and drabs, and consummates in both the profound and the subtle, but there is no trick to it. 446. Zen is the best approach through which one can become enlightened. Any other approaches can be described by words, but only Zen can be carried out with soul. Having understood the truth of Zen, formal education is unnecessary because heaven, earth, and all other phenomena are books. We can read the books without words of heaven, earth, and all phenomena at any time, whether we are awake or asleep. Note here Zen means the process of reading and observing the wordless book, every phenomenon of nature, society, and the whole universe, understanding it by thinking, verifying, and eventually getting the absolute truth of oneself and the universe, and obtain enlightenment. 447. One thing is eternal. From the remote past to the distant future, it has been committing itself silently. Its semblance can change at any time, but its essence always remains the same, in the past, the present, and the future. As long as we are willing to rely on it, we always can, and this is where we can entrust our lives. Tao. Tao is the embodiment of the consciousness, and the spirit of the greatest creator. By entrusting our lives to Tao, we are entrusting them to the care of the consciousness and spirit of the greatest creator. In one word, we must entrust our lives to the greatest creator. 448. Essences cannot be understood other than through their uses. This is a big mystery which simply suggests that the meanings of all essences are expressed by their uses. To allow one's essence to be understood, they must concentrate their efforts on their uses. It is only by expressing our uses that we can attain Tao, because the values of everything lie in their uses, and without them, their essences cannot be understood. 449. The values of things lie in their uses. The functions and the values of Tao are embodied completely in its uses. The greater one's use is, the greater their value is, and all objects in the universe express their value through their use. As far as humans are concerned, the more uses one has, or the greater uses they have, the greater value they have, the richer intentions they will attain, and the more easily they will approach eternity. We cultivate ourselves by expanding our uses. The more useful we are, the better we do in cultivation. 450. Holographic order is the characteristic of Tao. Chaos is the appearance of holographic order, and holographic order is the essence of chaos. Actually, 99.9999% of people see chaos, but only 1 in a million see a holographic order world. Jesus, Sakyamuni, and Lao Tzu are great because they understand this holographic order rather than just chaos. The perception of chaos is narrow-sensed, one-sided, local, and linear. The perception of holographic order is broad-sensed, comprehensive, integrated, and non-linear. 451. To learn from Tao, one must learn from everything in nature, from the mirror, and from children. To achieve Tao, one must forget themselves and faithfully reflect the truth and facts. Those who have achieved Tao are like mirrors which reflect everything truthfully, including the endlessly changing outside world. They do not distort facts or scenes. One who has no self but faithfully reflects the truth and the facts is one who has achieved Tao. 452. The pursuit of various techniques is a minor consideration, but the pursuit of Tao is a major one. It is easy to acquire and learn techniques but extremely difficult to achieve Tao. Do not fall into and get stuck within the traps of techniques, because techniques are endless. The research for techniques cannot be completed in even 100,000 years, so let us go directly to the headstream, Tao. 453. It is difficult to reach heaven, but more difficult to understand oneself. It is difficult to pursue Tao, but more difficult to confront oneself truthfully. 454. One's chickens and dogs will not follow them to heaven by their having achieved Tao. one's friends and relatives will not become immortal because of their becoming immortal, everyone must complete their own path. 455. Our self-refinement should be concentrated on the perception, pursuit, attainment, and practice of Tao, and we must never be infatuated with gong, magic, techniques, or ceremonies. We should pay attention to inner qualities rather than to appearances and forms. The core of self-refinement is to perfect our non-material structures of life rather than to obtain wisdom and supernatural powers. We should work on our thinking and our transformation of consciousness instead of on meditation and practicing our skills. 456. The perception, pursuit, verification, attainment, and maintenance of Tao is the road to the sublimation of life. To perceive Tao means to understand the following principles by observing the endless variety of phenomena in the boundless universe. The laws and rules that govern the operation of the universe, the origin of all things and phenomena, the principles of the operation of life, the secrets and profound mysteries of the universe, of time and space, and of life and life. The pursuit of Tao is to establish one's own outlook on the world, life, and values, on the basis of the perception of Tao. The verification of Tao is to validate through one's practices over and over again, whether the outlooks on the world, life, and values are correct and conform to the laws and procedures of the evolution procedures of Tao. The attainment of Tao means that one has understood the secrets and profound mysteries of the universe, time and space, and life, and has established unshakable correct views on the world, life, and values. The maintenance of Tao means that one will self-improve, self-refine, and behave according to the views on the world, life, and values that one has established, and will stick to their faith and belief no matter how the world may change, what great events may happen in the vicinity, whether they are in prosperity or in adversity, and regardless of how great a temptation with which they are faced. They will remain resilient and strong even after going through endless battering from hurricanes from every direction, and remain seated on the fishing boat, unaffected by stormy waves. Jesus' teaching that one who has the greatest endurance will be saved is the core meaning of maintaining Tao. 457. A man of great virtue is one who follows the way of Tao. Tao has no clear fixed entity. What does it look like? It is elusive and evasive, in which there are forms, elusive and evasive, in which there are entities, so profound and obscure, in which there is essence of energy. The essence of energy is really true, which is verifiable. Dating back to ancient times, its name can never be abolished, but the very beginning of all things can be observed according to it. How can I know the beginning of all things? Through Tao. 458. 10-9 equals Tao. Tao has intricate layers of meanings, however when they are all reduced to their basics, they are simply the law, the order, and the one. For us, the meaning of 10-9 is the casting away of numerous and complicated matters in life and the concentration of all our efforts onto one thing. To thoroughly, intensively, and completely attend to one matter is to obtain everything from it that we need. That is to say, as long as we stick to the one, we will be in tune with Tao. Undivided attention, wholehearted devotion, total commitment, and perseverance are the embodiments of 10-9. As long as we are capable of this, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. Rubbing ropes against wooden boards will cut into them and dripping water onto stones will wear them down. Channels form when water flows, and melons' pedicles fall when their fruit ripens. 459. Who can change the evolution program that ruled by Tao? We should not attempt to do so. What we need to do is escape from the trappings of life. It is impossible for those who cannot save themselves to save others. Save yourselves first, then save others. Can the poverty-stricken offer financial help to others? Can the imprisoned help other prisoners to escape from their cells? Those who have fallen into a trap should try to escape from it on the conscious level first. As long as you are awake spiritually and have a sober mentally, you can escape from the trappings of life, one step at a time. 460. Ultimate Tao cannot be pursued according to relationships. It has no favorites and it will not help you if you are poor and pathetic nor punish you if you are rich and powerful. The only measure of reward or punishment is to see whether or not you are following Tao. If you are, then you will be rewarded, if not, you will be punished. For 61, the way to become a celestial being lies in the following methods. Being free from the secular even while remaining in the secular world, being away from worldly affairs in your mind even when you must interact with them, doing your best to complete your duty to be free from cares and worries, remaining ordinary while transcending beyond the ordinary. 462. Anyone who is always happy, joyous, and free is a celestial. For 63, to become a celestial, one must sever all their worldly ties and foster new ones with other celestial beings. It is hard to be a celestial being while still being constrained by worldly ties. For 64, let your mind abide nowhere and be free from cares and worries. Follow your own nature and be unrestrained. Follow your destiny and be carefree. Be content no matter where you are, what you encounter, or what you are doing. For 65, your transformation process from being a human to becoming a celestial or to achieve Buddhahood must include these 3 items. Pay back your debts and end your worldly ties. Accumulate your merits and virtues by serving and dedicating. Perfect your life's non-material structure. 466. For those whose goal is to become a celestial being, fame, power, wealth, and rank are traps, and glory, humiliation, favor, and disfavor are obstacles. It is only with the least amount of selfish desire and indifference to favor and humiliation that one can embark on the road to becoming a celestial being, and the lack of selfish desire is the starting point toward reaching that end. If selfishness is not banished, then one will be bound to live as a laity, and if their desires are not extinguished, then they may be engulfed by the flames of desire. To become a celestial being, one must reduce their selfishness, decrease their desires, keep a sober mind in the face of fame, power, and carnal pleasure, and use materials when necessary, but never be enslaved by them. For 67, to become a celestial, one must detach themselves from worldly affairs and withdraw from worldly pursuits. Only one word can describe the secular world, restless only one word can depict the human world, noisy only one word can portray the fairylands. Serene transcendence over worldly affairs means the taking of a great leap from restlessness and noise to a return to serenity. For 68, what kind of space one lives in is dependent on their life structure. Animals scurry about on the ground, birds soar in the sky, bees buzz among flowers, flies dash between garbage piles, ordinary people hustle and bustle in private ownership and having families, sages wander freely in public ownership, celestials enjoy leisure in non-ownership, and super-celestial beings play at will in their own worlds. For 69, one of the magic codes for becoming a celestial being is to be able to create a future fairyland in our consciousness. We must first imagine ourselves as a celestial being in our consciousness. Different modes of thinking correspond to different forms of life. If we always envision life in the 1,000-year world, then the structure of your life will develop toward that end and we will go there when the conditions become right. Others may think that we are dead, but we will actually have departed the human world to enjoy a celestial being's life in the 1,000-year world. For 70. The way of Buddha has beliefs of 5 monastic precepts and 10 kindnesses, and precepts, calmness, and wisdom. The way of Christianity has beliefs of original sin and penance, and the way of humans has a set of theories and rules governing human relationships. The way of celestial beings' beliefs encourage the exhibition of their natures, being free and joyful. Follow your own nature and be unrestrained, follow your destiny and be carefree. For 71. When we are tired and fatigued, we have strayed from the celestial way. When we are happy and unrestrained, we are closer to the celestial way. For 72, swine must possess the thinking of the swine keeper to know the meaning of their lives. People must possess the thinking of their keeper to know the meaning of their lives. Anyone who knows the meaning of their life has become a celestial. For 73, to become a celestial being and achieve celestial immortality, one must strive to find the spiritual pure land, plan their life around it, spread their love across the world, and contribute more to the new era. For 74, 8, major consciousnesses are involved in the process of advancing from the human world to heaven, that is, ascending from a human being to a celestial being. 1. Enlightened consciousness of life. Life is a non-material structure with spirituality. It undergoes endless transmigrations without annihilation. 2. Enlightened consciousness of life and death. Life and death are only appearances, not essences, forms, not truth. Boundless grasses across the plains come and go with every season, wildfires never quite consume them, they are tall once more in the spring wind. When your boat reaches the other shore, you simply disembark. 3. Enlightened consciousness of karma. As a man sows, so he shall reap. Divine punishments, though slow, are always sure, with big meshes, yet letting nothing slip through. 4. Enlightened consciousness of space. There are 20 parallel worlds in the universe, 36 dimensional spaces, and paradises and hells. Paradises are for perfect lives, hells are for defective ones. There are different spaces of life for different life states. Each life lives in a space corresponding to their life state. 5. Enlightened consciousness of predestined relationships. All relationships are predestined. Relationships with ghosts will drop one to the nether world, relationships with celestial beings will raise one to a fairyland. If one's debts are not paid off, they cannot get out of their plight, and if one does not have enough merits and virtue, they cannot reach the fairyland. 6. Enlightened consciousness of mind and nature, life's non-material structure. Reality is a projection of consciousness, consciousness creates reality. Form gives birth to mind, but mind can transcend over form. Minds are the most important of the three realms, and consciousness is the most important of all rules. Fragrances will attract butterflies to flowers and pure hearts will be frequented by celestial beings. Minds that do not abide anywhere are Tathagata. Nature is the characteristic of structure, it is Buddha. 7. Enlightened consciousness of 8 diagram arrays. The universe has 36, 8 diagram arrays and they are the sources of games. They are full of fun, for example, power, money, fame, gain, carnal pleasure, and affection are 8 diagram arrays from which no one can detach themselves once they become entrapped. It is only after one has acquired supreme authentic wisdom that they can transport themselves outside the samsara world of endless transmigrations. 8. Enlightened consciousness of the true origin. Everything has its source, its origin. Consciousness, structure, and energy are the three constituent elements of the universe. All others are, as a dream, an illusion, a bubble, a shadow, as dew and lightning, thus, you should meditate upon them. The greatest creator is the source of everything and therefore the real origin. If you understand him and follow his way, then any of the 84,000 methods will lead you to a smooth path, otherwise, you will be at the edge of a cliff. 475. How does one become enlightened? If one can achieve an integrity of body and soul through self-improvement and self-refinement, then they will have grown real spirit, great talent, and virtues concentrated within them. Without the great vow, they will find it difficult to understand the profundity of the universe, and to become enlightened. If they can achieve the following, then the light of their soul will become brighter, their consciousness will become clearer, and they will finally become enlightened. Hold and keep to the 1. Be free from ego and selfishness. Revere the greatest creator, life, and nature wholeheartedly. Follow the way of the greatest creator. Devote your heart and soul to the creation of a reality in which the talented are put to good use. The whole world becomes one big family, no one pockets anything found on the ground, and doors are not bolted at night. Everything is in harmony. The wind and rain come in their time, and everyone is happy, joyous, free, and blessed. 476. The program cannot be initiated unless conditions are ripe, and one cannot ascend to become a celestial being if their self-improvement and self-refinement have not achieved the necessary ideal level. 477. Heaven is the general term for the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the celestial islands continent of the Elysium world. 478. the Thousand-Year World, the 10,000-Year World, and the Elysium Celestial Islands continent are not fanciful imaginations. They are inevitabilities caused by the law that the sum of all positive and negative energy is always zero, just like the inevitable existence of Mercury, Venus, Mars, and the outer planets in our solar system and of our 7 apertures, hair, limbs, and all of our internal organs. 479. The Thousand-Year World is a celestial body that is 960 light-years from Earth. About 10 times the size of Earth, it is currently inhabited by approximately 200 million celestial beings. As the basic lifespan of life for celestial beings on this celestial body is about 1,000 years relative to Earth time, it is called the Thousand-Year World. It is a world of pure sincerity, kindness, and beauty, one of love, peace, pleasure, and where human nature is sublimated. Anyone with a perfect human nature can undoubtedly go there, as there is no limit to the population size. 480. The 10,000-Year World is a beautiful celestial body located 3,480 light-years from Earth. It is 16 times the size of Earth and is surrounded by 16 equidistant suns. About 100 million celestial beings live there. The basic characteristics of these celestial beings are pretty much the same as those of land celestial beings described by Taoism. They enjoy life spans of about 35,000 years relative to Earth time, and thus this celestial body is called the 10,000-Year World. 481. The Elysium World is the general term for the Earth universe. The universe inhabited by humans is a small one that is called the Earth universe. The Earth universe is called this in relation to other universes. Its structure is a Taiji ellipsoid which is called a low-rotary galaxy. Low-rotary galaxies contain 3,000 rotary river galaxies. Each rotary river galaxy contains 3,000 Milky Way galaxies, and each Milky Way system contains 3,000 solar systems. In other words, the Elysium World is composed of 3,000 macro worlds, 9 million medium worlds, and 27 billion small worlds. 482. The Celestial Islands continent of the Elysium World is the greatest creator's backyard. It has 80 billion islands, each the size of Earth. Each island has a name and only one super celestial being inhabits it. Apart from the 30 billion islands that have been used by super celestial beings as their home, the remaining 50 billion islands are not currently inhabited by any celestial beings. They are to be inhabited by people from the human world, the Thousand-Year World, and the 10,000-Year World as they succeed in transforming themselves into super celestial beings through self-cultivation and self-refinement. 483. The Elysium World has 10 continents. 1. The Lotus Continent. 2. The Borneo Continent. 3. The Kasayapa Continent. 4. The Ingwu Continent. 5. The Amida Buddha Continent. 6. The Celestial Islands Continent. 7. The Three Realms Transit Continent. 8. The Moon Temple Continent. 9. The Gods Continent. 10. The Supreme Authentic Wisdom Continent. The Celestial Islands Continent is one of the continents of the Elysium World. 484. Super celestial beings are the highest realm that humans can ascend to. Their base camp is on the Celestial Islands continent of the Elysium World. Hostess Yue of Xiefeng Island on the Celestial Islands continent is a super celestial being. Guanxian, the revered goddess of mercy and compassion, is a super celestial being. Angels in Western culture are super celestial beings. Super celestial beings are Buddhas. The difference is that Buddha has certain restraints, while super celestial beings do not. Buddha has responsibilities but super celestial beings do not. The greatest characteristic of super celestial beings is that they can play in whatever way they think is most interesting. After Buddhahood is attained, there are still higher realms awaiting, but after becoming a super-celestial being, none remain to be pursued. Super-celestial beings mainly engage in self-entertainment and do not care about affairs in heaven or the human world. Buddha does not pursue entertainment and is not obsessed with momentary relaxation, but focuses on the acquisition of supreme authentic wisdom. Super-celestial beings are the freest, most pleasant, and happiest lives in the universe. As the favorites of the greatest creator, they do not undertake any responsibilities or obligations. Buddha is the most intelligent and self-disciplined life in the universe. Buddha will bear For 85, heaven is for happy and joyous people, it is not for those who are weighed down by worries. The longer one is happy and joyful, the better and more stable their non-material structures of life become and the closer they are to paradise. For 86, to obtain a visa to the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, or the Elysium world, one must give up their ego and enter into a holographic state. To give up one's ego is not to keep heavenly laws and extinguish humanly desire, as advocated by Confucianism in China, nor is it a rivalry against the realization of individual value, as advocated by American culture. Rather, letting go of self means the abjuration of obstinate belief in oneself. If you are convinced that your own cognition is completely right and immaculate, then you may be correct in every step along your way, but finally go astray into elusive thinking and never be able to walk out of the desert of life and the cave of silken web of transmigration. For 87, heaven, whether the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, or the Elysium world, is a place of liveliness and recreation, and this is particularly true of the Celestial Islands continent. If you are not good at or have no intention of having fun, then why do you self-improve and self-refine to enter the land of heaven? Do you want to be a police officer in heaven? Let me tell you, there are no police, lawyers, judges, director generals, section chiefs, or supervisors there. For 88, people who cannot dream about a colorful dreamland will rarely enter heaven, so if you often see green mountains and clear rivers, gentle breezes and bright sunshine, and delightful auspiciousness pervading everywhere in your dreams, then you will go to the 1,000-year world. If you often dream about amazing and beautiful sceneries, soaring through the skies, and feeling wonderful when interacting with the opposite sex physically, mentally, or spiritually without the slightest fear or trepidation, it is evident that you will go to the 10,000-year world. If you dream that you can make yourself invisible, soar freely, transform yourself at will, and make reality change by your own consciousness, then this indicates that you will enter the Elysium world. For 89, to aim for heaven, you must climb over two huge mountains. One is the man-made program, and the other is your personal Egypt of the soul. The man-made program includes family, nationality, state, religion, political party, the current social order, and the way of life. To enter heaven, you must walk out of these programs. You cannot reach heaven without escaping from them. The Egypt of the soul includes jealousy, comparison, complaining, arrogance, wrath, possessiveness, forced occupation, enmity, tenets and doctrines, commandments and dharma, contention, greed, laziness, and intentional action. If you do not clear away these trash in your soul, then you cannot reach heaven. Please abandon the human program, flee from your Egypt of the soul, break your chains, and fly toward freedom. For 90, how can we accumulate wealth in heaven? Here are 8 ways. 1. Revere the greatest creator, life, and nature, and follow the way of the greatest creator. 2. Dedicate selflessly. 3. Dissolve enmity and bring serenity, peace, and warmth to others and to society. 4. Have a kind heart and do good deeds. 5. Sing praises to the greatest creator, Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, celestial being Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and the sages and saints throughout history. Sing praises to life and other people. Sing praises and protect nature. 6. Promote people's confidence in life, prompt people to long for beautiful futures, and relieve people's anxieties, worries, trepidations, and fears. 7. Bloom your romantic and sexual love in ways that do not bring any psychological, spiritual, or physical harm or stress to anyone else. 8. Fully exhibit your artistic beauty. 491. The kingdom of heaven does not accept children who have never grown up, neither adults lacking childlike minds nor childish adults who have not grown up are accepted in heaven. People's traditional lifestyles hinder them from growing up. Many people are still immature and cannot become ripe crops even well into their advanced years. This is something that provokes our thoughts. Ripe crops are certainly children who have grown up and matured. If you have never grown up, then you are surely not eligible to enter heaven. For 92, to enter the 1,000-year world, one must meet the following 8 requirements. 1. Revere and believe firmly in the greatest Creator and always be grateful to Him. 2. Revere life and nature. 3. Possess no jealousy, resentment, belligerence, greed, stubbornness, selfishness, or complaints against others. 4. Never hinder other people's happiness or freedom under any pretense or excuse. 5. Have a kind heart. Kindness can be felt from one's appearance, words, and behavior. 6. Be honest, practical, realistic, and truthful, never lie or cheat. 7. Work hard and keep your living and surrounding environment clean, tidy, beautiful, and harmonious. 8. Keep all promises and agreements. For 93, to enter the Celestial Islands continent, one must achieve the status of a super-celestial being. To achieve this status, they must possess the life structure of a super-celestial being. Self-harmony is one of the 8 qualities which are required in the life structures of super-celestial beings, and it refers to a self-formed complete system which is defective of nothing, has good coordination and congruence, and satisfies all it needs internally. Self-harmony is Tathagata with no form of self, others, living beings, lifetime, dharma, or non-dharma. Self-harmony is trance, obscurity, the subtle, male and female, yin and yang, and taiji. For 94, how can we cultivate the character of self-harmony? There are 8 ways. 1. Create millions of images and dharma within your mind, namely, create reality with consciousness. 2. Life is death, death is life, glory is disgrace, and disgrace is glory. Show no concern for life, death, glory, or disgrace. Possess strength but retain gentleness. Know and observe all, but remain obscure. 3. There is no essential difference between form and emptiness. Consciousness returns to the state of zero, and the soul returns to the spiritual pure land. 4. Everything is but a game, only life is true, so do not persist in anything. 5. Have everything but possess nothing, transcend over time and space and maintain a powerful and unconstrained style. 6. Enjoy and please yourself within your own consciousness completely and freely. Follow your own nature and be unrestrained. Follow your destiny and be carefree. 7. Maintain a holographic status with no interiors or exteriors, no borders or boundaries, no rights or wrongs, no truths or falsehoods, and no kindnesses or wickednesses. 8. Make the real, elusive and dreamlike, make the elusive, reasonable. 495. There is neither oppression nor exploitation in heaven. All those who want to enter heaven by self-improving and self-refining must not contend, fight, or debate with others. They must not despoil, oppress, or exploit others, nor should they bring unhappiness or unpleasantness to others under any pretense in any way. They must never restrict another's freedom for any reason, nor should they impose their views or opinions on others or cause spiritual, mental, or physical harm to anyone. For 96. If you revere the greatest Creator, life, and nature, follow the way of the greatest Creator, possess supernatural powers, and can create the world that you yearn for, then you will undoubtedly enter the Celestial Islands continent of the Elysium world. If you revere the greatest Creator, life, and nature, follow the way of the greatest Creator, possess supernatural powers, and can create the world that you yearn for, then you will undoubtedly enter the Celestial Islands continent of the Elysium world. For 97. These three steps are required to become a celestial being. 1. Be free from trouble, pain, sorrow, worry, and fear, and live a happy, joyous, free, and blessed life. 2. Let your mind abide nowhere, be free from worries and cares, follow your own nature and be unrestrained, follow your destiny and be carefree, and maintain a state of pleasure at all times. 3. Be free from your mind. Everything is nature and you live by exhibiting your nature. You are humble, flexible, highly sensitive, and possess 64 magical powers. Your mind abides nowhere, you have transcended your ego and are not affected by forms, and you have been free from attachments which lead you into the state of self-harmony. You are in tune with Tao, unrestrained, easy, and elegant. For 98, becoming a super-celestial being and reaching the Elysium world is to reach the peak of life. Humans cannot become God and can never become the greatest creator. For 99, we are always pursuing Tao. Actually, Tao is never very far from us and never abandons us. Tao surrounds us just like water surrounds fish. Tao exists in our everyday lives and throughout everything. Tao also exists in all changing phenomena. Going with the flow of Tao, letting yourself melt into Tao, and having Tao manage and lead your life means that you have attained it. 500. Everything runs in Tao, including the behaviors of governments. Therefore, do not complain or get upset or enraged, but just do what you need to do. If you choose to plant a flower, that is your business. If the government chooses to destroy your flower, that is their business. Ultimately, Tao will give everyone fair and just trials. 501. There is a supernatural soul in the universe, and this supernatural soul is the greatest creator. 502. About the greatest creator, everything comes from its source. The greatest creator is the ultimate source. Life has levels. The greatest creator is at the highest level. Everything is in motion. The greatest creator is the ultimate driving force of all motions. The universe is in order. The greatest creator is the designer of the order. Everything has spirit. The greatest creator is the ultimate source of all spirits. 503. Wuji gives birth to Taiji and Taiji is the greatest creator. Taiji came into being naturally, so nature and the greatest creator are one and the same. 504. The greatest creator has 8 features. 1. Uniqueness. 2. Formlessness. 3. Neutrality. 4. Mystery. 5. Impartiality. 6. Mercy. 7. Supreme Powerful. 8. Absolute Wisdom. 505. The greatest creator is the supreme leader of the universe, the master of all gods, the nerve center of the universe, the core of energy, the cradle of life, the birthplace of wisdom, the creator of the universe and of life, the driving force of the universe, the energy center of the universe, the sweet spring in the desert, the beacon in the dense fog, the ancestor of Buddha, Allah, Grand Brahma, and Heaven. 506. The greatest creator is not a god. There are many gods in the universe, but the greatest creator is exclusive. 507. Jesus Christ is not the greatest creator but a god. 508. Our relationship with the greatest creator is the most fundamental of all human relationships. 509. The greatest creator never communicates with individuals directly with human languages. All things are the greatest creator's language. Ever-changing phenomena are the greatest creator's words to humans. People capable of understanding the book without words are having dialogues with the greatest creator. 510. The greatest creator never records his will with words or enters anyone's mind to grant them special instructions or edifications. He never tests or inspects anyone, neither does he worry that some deity or demon might usurp his authority. He never judges anyone. 511. Where is the greatest creator? The essence of the greatest creator is in the zero world, but the spirit of the greatest creator pervades everything throughout the universe. Where is the zero world? The zero world is the point of zero in the universal coordinate system through which x, y, and z axes all must pass. The 20 parallel worlds are all connected to the 0 point. As a result, the greatest creator exists simultaneously in all 20 parallel worlds. Without the greatest creator, none of them would exist. 5:12, all spiritual wisdom originates from, and all glory remains with the greatest creator. 5:13, it is Tao that governs the universe and keeps the orderly operation of everything. Tao is the consciousness and the magical power of the greatest creator. 5:14, the way of nature is the way of the greatest creator, the way of the greatest creator is the way of nature. 5:15, the way of the greatest creator has 8 major meanings. 1. The universe is the product of the consciousness of the greatest creator. 2. Everything comes into being as a result of creation. 3. Everything runs in the consciousness of the greatest creator. Tao. 4. Demonstrate our nature and act by conforming to nature. 5. Revere and emulate the greatest creator. 6. Reality is the portrayal of life's free consciousness. 7. Happiness, joy, freedom, and blessings are the themes of life. 8. Everything is but a game. 516. The essence of the way of the greatest creator is nature, refers to the intrinsic nature of things, love, and Tao. Nature is the feature of structure, love is the feature of energy, Tao is the feature of consciousness. 517. The core of the way of the greatest creator is to reap what you have sown. If you want to eat cucumbers, then you must sow cucumber seeds in the field. In this way, you will undoubtedly reap cucumbers but not watermelons or pumpkins. The way of the greatest creator is the way of nature, therefore, you can undoubtedly reap melon from melon seeds and reap beans from bean seeds. If you deviate from this, you may reap beans from melon seeds or the reverse. To be less abstract, in the fields of selfishness, greed, jealousy, resentment, ignorance, fatuity, and trickery, no matter what seeds you sow, they will always mutate into the wrong kinds of plants. Reap beans from melon seeds or reap melons from bean seeds. It is only in the fields of kindness, honesty, credibility, and unselfishness that you can reap what you have sown. In order to do that and realize your dream, you must follow the way of nature. Deviating from it will cause hope to become desperation and comedy to become tragedy. 518. The way of the greatest creator is broad and profound with extremely abundant intentions and extensions. It transcends time and space and governs everything. It is so extensive that there is no exterior and so narrow that there is no interior. Everything runs in it and it changes everything and governs the universe. The way of the greatest creator is the way of light, the way of creation, the way of life, the way of love, the way of freedom, the way of happiness, the way of magic, the way of holographic order. 519. The way of the greatest creator is the way of nature, so humans should comply with and harness the power of nature, while neither conquering nor reforming it. 520. There was only one coincidence in the universe, the birth of the greatest creator. All things other than that are matters of inevitability. Inevitability is the order of the universe and the order of the universe is inevitability. The universe is unified harmoniously by Tao. Tao is law and principle. Everything within the scope of law and principle is inevitable. There are absolutely no coincidences. So-called coincidences are links in the chain of inevitability. 521. There is no final judgment because judgments are being rendered continuously. What judges life is not the greatest creator, gods, Buddha, or Hades, but Tao, the consciousness of the greatest creator. Tao operates every moment without pause. 522. Letting all lives live happily, joyously, freely and blessedly is the original purpose of the greatest creator's creation and remains his will. 523. Understanding, revering, and believing in the greatest creator and following his way are the preconditions for our conscience to develop. One who has no greatest creator in their mind will be unable to develop their conscience, it will die out. We can even say that such a person has no conscience and is a heartless, unruly troublemaker. Following the way of the greatest creator is the fundamental prerequisite and guarantee for the entire mankind and each individual to lead a happy life. 524. Anyone who wants to become, or thinks they can become, the greatest creator is an incarnation or representation of Satan. Anyone who instigates others to attempt to become the greatest creator is a representative or an accomplice of demons. 525. Soul power is the highest level of energy in the universe. All soul power comes from the greatest creator. As long as we continue to believe in and follow the way of the greatest creator, we will have no shortage of soul power. Essence and spirit are energies second only to soul power. The energy of essence mainly comes from the nimbus between heaven and earth, and this nimbus includes the energy brought to man by everything in nature, namely, the energy given to man by all the beauty of nature and the energy of carbohydrates converted from food. The energy of spirit mainly comes from the level of consciousness. It is a structural energy, a program energy, a belief energy, and can even be generalized as the energy of Tao. 526. All those who regard their reverence to the greatest creator as the faith of their lives and perceive the profundity of Tao with their souls, and all those who pursue supreme authentic wisdom and strive to achieve the highest realm of life, are leading spiritual lives. In order to attain a spiritual life, one needs to listen to the teachings of Jesus Christ and take the way of the greatest creator by following Jesus' instructions. 527. Why should we take the way of the greatest creator? Because we can only get to higher life spaces via revering and walking on the way of the greatest creator. Without revering the greatest creator and walking on his way, we can only hover in a certain space or slide into lower spaces, but we can never ascend to higher spaces. 528. The way of the greatest creator is the road to happiness, joy, freedom, and blessing. You are to keep a peaceful and joyous inner mind whether you are in prosperity or adversity or even facing desperation or death. Be convinced that the greatest creator is perceptive of the minutest detail in everything and is definite about punishments and rewards, and be brave enough to have the greatest creator take charge of your life and have Tao manage your life. 529. All things created by the greatest creator are arranged in clearly defined layers. As human beings, as long as we obey the arrangement of the greatest creator, keep to our duties strictly, and advance along the trajectory of human nature, we will have unregretful lives, no matter whether we are prosperous or in adversity, or in brightness or darkness. 530. Even gods, Buddha, celestial beings, monsters, demons, and goblins are powerless before the greatest creator, so on our road of life and life, everything will give way to us and cannot harm us as long as we cling tightly to his hand. 531. The greatest creator does not decide anyone's destiny. Everyone's destiny is ultimately brought about by themselves and is the result of their consciousness. 532. Understanding things is not for the sole purpose of enjoying and living harmoniously with them. What is more important is to make use of them to serve us and to broaden our scope of free activity to the greatest extent. Following the way of the greatest creator does not mean to endure hardships and sufferings, but to enjoy life and obtain more happiness and pleasure to the greatest extent. 533. Great love is like a mountain and is wordless. The greatest creator's love for us is constant, eternal, and has never been expressed in any human language. If conditions are attached to love, if it needs to be repaid, or if it needs to be expressed in words, then such love is only small love, not great love. 534. Why should we be in awe of the greatest creator? The greatest creator is the supreme sovereign king of the universe, the creator of life, and the guardian of equity and order. Without the greatest creator, there would be no universe, no mankind, no God or Buddha. So should we not be in awe? Only if we feel awed, can we do whatever we desire to, but not go against his rules. Only if we feel awe, can we obey the objective law and act by conforming to nature. Only if we feel awed, can we understand that there are divinities watching over us so that we dare not harbor evil ideas or conduct misdeeds. Only if we feel awed, can we live in harmony with nature, beings, and everything, instead of doing whatever we want, including the butchering of beings. Awe and respect derive from feelings of gratitude, humility, passionate love for life, and heartfelt esteem for the Creator and the Governor. 535. If we do not follow the way of the greatest Creator, then we can barely solve the problems of life. If we do not sublimate the quality of our lives, then we cannot have great lives. 536. The way of the greatest Creator is neither of private ownership nor of public ownership, but of non-ownership. Resources are shared but occupied by none. Everyone uses resources as they need them, but nobody occupies or accumulates them. It is only in this way that the human world can become an ideal land and those beautiful dreams of mankind can be realized. 537. Man proposes and God disposes. That is to say, one's success in achieving something and realizing certain wishes and ideals relies 30% on individual diligence and 70% on God. In this sense, God means the greatest Creator, Tao, the program, good timing, geographical convenience, harmonious human relations, and nature. Human wisdom and human endeavors are both very limited. If time and geographical positions are not favorable, then you cannot achieve anything no matter how much effort you exert. 538. By following the way of the greatest Creator, you can disengage yourself from the abyss of misery and arrive directly at the most ideal realm of life. You can connect with the origin of the universe and enjoy the pleasures of life at any time. You can shake off the bondage of time and space and let your thinking and consciousness race freely across the unlimited universe. You can accumulate your merits and virtues and pay back all your debts from all your past lives. You will have a limpid mind and a clear consciousness to realize your dreams. 539. Following the way of the greatest Creator is the most convenient, simple, direct, and effective path. By following it, you can dispense with all taboos and need not immerse yourself in daily exploring and searching after Tao, virtue, benevolence, righteousness, courtesy, wisdom, credibility, and technique. You need not chant scriptures or pray every day, or go to great lengths to cultivate special magical power or techniques. You need not tread great distances to follow the enlightened or engage in serious, heated discussions. All you need is to conform to nature. 540. The way of the greatest Creator is the way of nature. Everything is accomplished naturally. It is against the Tao of nature to expect to obtain and achieve something as soon as you want it. Melons' pedicels fall when their fruit ripens and channels form when water flows. This is what is meant by nature. Force and compulsion are against nature. Conscious effort should be combined with adherence to the course of nature. Without conscious effort, we can only circle around our original spot and cannot walk out of bewilderment or the 36:8 diagram arrays. Without an attitude and state of mind that adheres to the course of nature, we will certainly feel anxious and contentious, overemphasize effort, and our eagerness for success will backfire. In the end, we may get the opposite of that for which we have wished. 541. For 5,000 years, humans have only had smattering clues of the greatest Creator, but without a correct and relatively complete understanding, we could not be in His awe. Without feeling awed, our lives as individuals would be perplexed and doleful, and society as a whole would not be able to eliminate the hidden troubles and establish auspicious and peaceful vital forces in harmony with nature. One can only have a perfect life by following His way. Human beings can only lead themselves out of confusion by doing the same. 542. Walk on the way of the greatest Creator but not on the way of gods, because Satan is also a god. 543. The greatest Creator is love. 800 Values for New Era Human Being.